that you never buy. T is for the tiny that toss you very high. M is for Marana, that's ready to assist. A is for Abaddon, who rants about the mist. S is for the Shadow Fiend, who breaks them in his sweat. Draft your better letter in your Dota alphabet.
Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Hey!
I want to say congratulations as well to the video that you saw a little while ago. Not the video that you just saw.
won.
With it.
Was
Not
us.
what you saw
We
with
won.
casters
It was
singing
SFM.
terribly.
Great job.
Yeah.
But the one that you
Got
did
him.
see with the holiday delivery is the winner of the $5,000 for the video
$5,000
contest.
baby.
But we are in our draft as well,
Dude,
and now we're going to be
that much
taking a
money
look.
singing, man. It's just, why don't we just sing instead of this?
Yeah, we should.
Guys, I don't know what you think this is, but I run a very serious desk. I need you to focus.
Prove it.
HE double hockey sticks up right now and take us into the draft.
All right, Mr. Rich, we have 3 Puck and
Legion
Omni-Knight
Commander.
banned out by
Disruptor.
NIGMA. And on the other side, Wisp, Lich, and Abaddon. We said that PL will be banned in this game. However, in the first banning phase at least, Sint, it's not
Yep.
true.
This is the true test for me if NIGMA rate this over everything else, because then they will pick it again. Well, obviously not over everything else because they did pick Doom, but as like the number 1 character again, and they don't.
Elder
take all
Titan was banned out.
Maybe-
I believe in the first stage as well, in that last game, so...
It was, yeah. Maybe they think Disruptor Legion is a problem because both of them have big AoE abilities that deal a lot of damage. Legion obviously scaling the more illusions there are.
The laning stage would be rough. You have...
Doppelganger, the Thunderstrike at least, but
Yeah.
it's not good against Legion. That's a pretty rough lane, so... Okay, I was really expecting PL to be banned, but I think Abaddon is the other obvious choice. It's one of the two that we're gonna go. And with Abaddon out of the picture, let's see what NIGMA do now, because they've... I want to say in the majority of their last games, they've had Abaddon on Mind Control, and they had one on Kuro that they lost, I think, but for the most part, Mind Control had been winning on that hero.
Yeah.
They need to rethink how they play their offlane. I'm guessing this is already a 3 Doom. It's more or less set, right?
I believe it's a 3 Doom and the position 4 GH Elder Titan. No
And I
doubt
think this
about
is
it, actually.
this is exploitable, right? You see these 2 heroes, 2 strength melee heroes, 3 on 4, or 3 on 4. You could go something like Batrider. You can consider heroes like Tempest off laning stage, like whatever it is that comes to mind. Razor could be amazing against this kind of lane.
I think that Bat Rider that you just said would be amazing, as Omni-Knight is banned out and so is Abaddon, so there aren't many heroes that they can just pick to deal with him.
I feel like it's gonna get banned, but who knows? Maybe does Fly play Bat? I think he does. Because, well,
But
they already have Legion.
yeah,
So it'd be
that's
support
probably-
Bat. Never mind.
yeah.
So it would be about with the Super plays it, probably. Or September. They could play... Disruptor can be 4 and 5.
But usually we do see that Disruptor played as 4 right now, right? Most of the time, at least.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
hero, yeah.
Are they going to ban PL or not? Let's see. I mean, the thing that's interesting
Alright.
for me is that I don't... Like, it's weird because I feel like they didn't specifically lose that last game to PL, so I can understand the mentality of not banning and being like, we messed up, we would have won that game, but you've also got that logic in the back of your mind, man, they must have so much confidence whenever they have this hero, they just seem to always win. Whether it was deserved or not is like besides the point, right? A win's a win.
Shouldn't this be a PL no-brainer? They picked up Avenge, they could go for Drow, she's not banned out.
SF is in.
SF is in though. I was thinking about that too. Perhaps even a better pick for them. With the Vengeful Spirit, they've had huge success with that SF.
So probably going to see Kuro's hero now, and I reckon he doesn't want to play Bat this game. He's against Legion and Venge. That's a pretty bad Batrider game. His Lich is banned. Disruptor is picked by the other team. This is the kind of the one left, right? That he's been playing this tournament. So
gives you some save, also counter initiation versus Legion Commander, right?
Yep.
And there you go. But they should follow up.
Here comes PL.
This is PL, I believe. 90%.
Oh, let's put it to the test. Hey, look
There
what
we
it
go.
is.
The slow camera pan over to
Perfect.
to reveal it.
Right as he kicks out into the
I mean, is there any chance though that you're looking over at RNG and thinking maybe they're just begging them to take PL because it's something that they
Jesus. That foot took up the whole screen.
I mean, you just picked Drow, you didn't ban the PL, so they'll definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
They knew it.
They knew it.
They knew it.
They have to know. So I wonder what the last pick solution is going to be. I think they want Shadow Fiend. They banned out the Huskar of Weehaw that has been NIGMA go-to. And I think Shadow Fiend is pretty good against Windranger. I don't really see the problem. Windranger, the way she wins her lane is by early harassment. Shadow Fiend can hold his own. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to focus fire time and she starts running in, if you're really good on Shadow Fiend, you can hit raises on the way in. She kind of has to yield.
What about Storm?
You can always Requiem her away as well if you need to later on.
For RNG.
Yeah. It's very, very good against Wyvern and Elder Titan. So I could totally see Storm. I also think that's a good hero against PL.
I believe Storm would fit right in.
It's really good. Very good.
All right, looking to check those final boxes here. Keep in mind right now, we are in a best of 5. NIGMA and RNG completely tied up. That last win, though, if you did miss it, that did go to NIGMA. We did see it off the back of a relatively large mistake. What do we think of this pick here?
TAPL is inviting aggression from the enemy team.
Yeah.
That takes time.
Inviting that Storm once again, I believe. I don't think that TA deals with Storm at all any longer in the laning stage.
Yeah. I think they both just farm, and then when TA goes jungle, Storm can go jungle, and he can make moves around the map while TA is building up. I wouldn't mind seeing Shadow Fiend either. I think it's a playable
SF
matchup.
for TA. SF or Storm, definitely. Yeah. I agree too. Yeah. They go with the Storm. It's the obvious answer to this lineup. Easy to get behind, to get on top of that Winter Wyvern, who's going to be trying to counterplay every single initiation of yours. So
And
also very good with Drow. Also blue strategy once again.
Just don't get doomed though.
Yeah.
Am I right? Just don't.
Are they all blue?
There's got to be a little bit of PTSD here as well for NIGMA. They lost to Gambit playing this strategy in a game, right? Pretty much this strategy. Not entirely the same, but
they're not all blue.
It's a little bit of a downer, but let's actually talk about what win conditions we're kind of looking for here. Let's start with RNG, Sind.
they're going to be able to play way more aggressive than NIGMA are. Wyvern, Elder Titan is a pretty defensive support duo. Then you have 2 farming cores in PL and TA. So there isn't going to be much happening from their side. So I want to see RNG kind of... This is kind of almost going back to 2 days ago. This is the kind of game that would be played there where NIGMA get really greedy and RNG could just trash them if they get ahead early on. So that's what they should be looking to do, at least play aggressive.
A good thing for Team NIGMA is the fact that they have this Elder Titan and Wyvern. So you have 2 very greedy cores, PL and TA. They're not super greedy, but they need time. They need time to... At least TA needs, what, a Blink, Dazo, something like that before she fights. Elder Titan and Wyvern, they might allow you to get those items. There's a lot of...
delay tactics?
Yeah, just delay tactics on their side.
Okay, all right. Well, with all of that, we're about ready to get this one underway. I myself am very excited for this. I'm a huge fan of TA, and I personally want to know what her secret is, but we're going to be jumping over to some people that have some secrets of their own. Toby and BSJ.
Break your neck like that, Syndrome. We're here now in our best of 3 grand final. Level everything up, but something feels very similar. The PL is back again. They were wondering if it's going to get banned, but it's now returned. Is RNG inviting problems?
Is this worth the risk? Like, Sidner and I agreed with him when he said make Team NIGMA prove that they can beat you with something else. Not only did they get a PL, but they got a 4th against Venge Drow. Drow PL matchup is notoriously one of the worst, if not the worst, for the Drow because the third spell only hits the third spell from Drow only hits single targets. Like the arrows stop. So even though it's this nice AOE, the PL illusions are one of the only things in the game that can actually soak up that damage.
If only you could upgrade to like piercing shot and go.
What we do in our spare time, Toby.
New attachment coming to Dota.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I think I can't believe RNG gave them this draft. Not only did they get the Doom first round, I think Wyvern's one of the best supports in the game right now. Very good against Venge Drow lineup.
Is it
physical.
worth it, man? Like RNG, they've got Stormjumper, they've got the Disruptor, who's been one hell of a support hero throughout this whole tournament, heavily on the punish. VS combo with Drow Ranger too. The only thing which is a little unusual because, well, she just didn't want to be blue, is a Legion Commander. That's the last one that's in there. But that's then their lockdown on a hero and a great laner.
Yeah, Legion's the not like the other girls person in this game so far. But we know for Team NIGMA so far that I have no doubt that the PL is going to get the items in the time that he needs to get. Because so far they're like 5 for 5. In games where I don't even think he should get there. In this game, I would almost guarantee that a PL would get there, so I have no doubts that Miracle will. My big up in the air question mark is which one of these mid laners is going to have the mid game momentum. Both of these very snowball heavy, really can punish the supports of the opponent. It's really hard for these supports to protect themselves against the enemy mids, and that's where I'm looking for them to punish in the mid game, and that's going to set a lot of the tone, because whoever gets more space in the carry role, if Drow falls behind it all, that's going to feel rough. Surprised that they're putting him top almost.
They actually TP'd Monet to the top after he was being attacked by 3 of the NIGMA heroes who started off with their aggro lane.
Yeah.
Just instantly sent him away. September, that's why he's now a higher level than Flywood, who had to walk from the top lane. But Dro started the laning phase at 1/4 HP. And GH has proven time and time again, like the ET, like you almost have to ban this out against NIGMA, right? Because he just runs at you. Doesn't care if he loses his life as long as he burns your consumables.
Because both carries are starting in the off lane, that almost means even more so about the mid laner momentum, because they are going to have a slightly slower start on both of them. I almost think that favors the PL. I think in this matchup, he'll recover much better than the Drow will. I'm really curious to see how that plays out. But both carries eventually will most likely rotate to their own safe lane. Probably, it's generally around the 6 to 8 minute mark that you kind of give up on these aggro lanes. And obviously, as you said, it was originally NIGMA aggroing and then the Drow from RNG dodging. Almost surprised he didn't take the Doppelganger on PL level 1.
Just to get rid of the harass?
Yeah, I mean, it's so much effective damage to remove. Technically, you'd remove the last 3 ticks of Disruptor's Q, which is 120 damage.
But if he has Phantom Rush, maybe then he can work with Kuro, find these earlier kills. Super currently burning down to mind control Scorched Earth. That's a lot of mischief with the side lane pulls.
There's a lot of tanky, beefy boys again running at you on the Drow and the Venge. Eventually, we've seen these Drow lineups outscale these types of lineups. But in this case, you have the PL. So that's really an X factor that we have not seen so far against the Drows that have been winning as the game goes on. Mid lane, yeah, quite a back and forth, trying to snipe him with that last side blade, but he does manage to get the salve off. Both of them expending a lot of money on the regen in order to keep their mana up, to continue the battle, as well as the health pool, obviously.
Still no first blood 3 minutes into the game. Everyone being as defensive as they can, apart from Kuro's early harassment. Flywim, that press the attack is not actually, is it looking for Kuro? Yeah, you get a glimpse of back over. Miracle have to do something else here. As Kuro back underneath the T1 tower, Flywim has the overwhelming odds thanks to Mango. Up he comes as Doppelganger jump forward from Miracle with the lance. Will get a rebuttal. The first one still does go the way of Flywim, while Setsu and Weeha having their own little bit of a battle. And Weeha, the damage from Refraction combining with the meld. Does he hit up? Oh no! He misses uphill. He may need another one as Setsu miss uphill again.
If he missed it again, man, I'm calling the lottery and buying a ticket for Storm Spirit here, but Setsu does go down in the mid lane. Does pay the price with his courier. That's a classic. I do that all the time myself, so.
That actually kind of hurts for Weeha.
He did get his items, I think. But yes, it does hurt, because they've been ferrying out a lot of regen, right?
Yeah. And you'll have the Storm Spirit arriving back at mid with full. But it's still an advantage. Like, you just managed to get a kill up on him. That's going to be good experience. Top 2 CSs were belonging to NIGMA, while VS will die to mind control in the meantime. September being chased down by Weeha and Kuro, double damage rune. Oh, you can see him looking to deny that. Mind control's not a healthy man, but remember, he's already killed the VS, and Monet does not pack a punch.
Yeah, this is just a solo Drow. Lane is pushing into him, so he's going to get plenty of XP top. Miracle, such a heads-up play to go on the Disruptor while the Legion was committing onto his Wyvern. I did not expect him to be able to get that counter kill, but that's just some of the cool plays you see players like him make. Another courier biting the dust. Kuroki sniping
The Dire
Legion
Ops actually
Commander's
saw it
bottom.
come over so we can move into position faster. But Flywind's already got his bracer, so he's feeling okay.
Yeah, before those level 5s come out, no flying couriers, quite easy to snipe them.
Hey, Setsu. You do have a Vengeful Spirit nearby. And Storm Spirit, a couple of bottle charges, so he's okay to take the damage for the moment. Burn through the refraction, vortexing him back, but VS has already left, so Setsu's trying to do this solo.
This is a result of the no courier for TA. Setsu knows that he cannot fly himself any more regen right now. But despite the fact that Weehaw hits level 6 first, Setsu knows that this is a nice little opening for him. Yeah, as you said, that courier snipe kind of saved this mid lane, I think. I think Weehaw would have been able to bully him out of lane before Storm gets that 6, threatening him with the trap kills, but he just doesn't have the mana to do so. And no courier to deliver him the items he needs.
Flywin, probably feeling like he's still as tanky as he was in the last game as Underlord.
He has no courier this game either, so he's stuck low on the bottom lane as well.
So they burn through him while Mind Control. Not the easiest lane for him. 12 for 5 is the CS. So for all the harassment that GH has been able to do, he's still also taken 10 of the CS from the lane.
That's almost shocking to me that a safe lane Doom is having that much trouble. Yeah, it is an off laner technically, but
you've split the CS though. Like if you take both GH as well as Doom, it's actually more than Flywin as Miracle will jump himself forward to get the kill onto exactly that man who did not have the regeneration.
These courier snipes actually being a really big deal this game. Something we are not unfamiliar with in terms of them getting sniped, but quite the impact on the mid lane as well as the bottom lane there. Kind of just have to accept your death on Legion.
Oh my god, Monet! Magic Missile from Super actually saving Monet, but GH's movement speed, one more punch! Hits so damn hard, love to see the numbers, and now into Super! GH hits him with the phone book. Call a friend. You don't win $1 million on this show.
Are there rocks inside of that phone book or something? That was a heavy-looking phone book that he just 3-shotted both of them with. I thought they might have like a stack or something, but then just there, he just put it on the creep wave in one hero, and I guess ET Spirit level 2, pretty damn powerful. Something that we saw a boatload at TI. They did nerf it such that you can purge it, but unless you have the lane purge, it just doesn't matter. Same hero.
Well, mid lane Vortex going on to Weehard. Double supports TPing in already. It's the Disruptor. Ready to work with Super, but they need a glimpse back on Weehard. Sentry Ward is planted, so he can't hide inside the melt. But with the arrival of Kuro and the removal of that Sentry Ward,
they also
and they even get the Ops.
Yep.
Easy. That's going to make Setsu's life a little bit more difficult. Oh, nice doppelganger from Miracle. And Flywin now does have the duel. If he can clean up the PL illusions, he can find the real one pretty quickly. GH, all right, here we go again. Who was hitting who? He can actually dive this. One more attack. Spirit out again. He needs to keep the buff up. One more hit, and he gets it. GH. Oh, Murnau's life goes from bad to worse, but the duel is out.
Who's winning
GH is still actually hitting so damn hard. He'll end up surviving. One more attack would do it, but Super will have to finish the job.
Woo! I may be wrong, but from what I understand, if you Spirit before your other one's out, it refreshes the duration, but keeps the buff of the one that's higher.
Okay.
I think that's what's happening there, because there's no way he's supposed to hit that hard from hitting a creep wave in one hero. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. Fogged needs to be here to tell us about that one of his favorite heroes. He always plays ET, but I had to assume he had like a massive stack in his jungle that maybe Weehawk just cleared that he was using for that. Something we've seen some ETs do in the past, kind of unique. Really use of like pushing that hero to the limits.
Doom it's out. Flywin. Mind Control just trying to start going on him. That's not going to happen unless he's got some extra support. And Super will hold his hand.
We call those the zoning Dooms, Toby.
Oh, do we?
Yes, he is zoned. Look at that.
That's true. The zone is to the south.
Okay.
No need for that. TA. Traps galore and the stuns coming in from ET. We've already seen how hard GH has been hitting on the top lane, and now he's moving down to the bottom. As Miracle will creep skip, they're wanting to try and dive September. They can clean the trees up pretty easily with Doppelganger. And there it is. Doppelganger breaks the trees on the bottom lane. They'll find September. His TP will not happen. The stomp from GH is just there in time, and September will fall.
This is the GH show so far.
It really is. So let's we've been looking at Team NIGMA because they've been making the plays across the map. We're now 30 seconds out from the outpost. That'll be probably the next part. But how is RNG looking as far as like positive sides of their lineup?
I mean, it's all on the Storm Spirit, right? It is a very good Storm Spirit game as long as he's not getting doomed. The one concern I have for the Storm Spirit, though, is if they just Wyvern curse him into the doom, there's really no counterplay to that. So they're going to have to make sure that as long as he's not dying and they can manage to make 1 or 2 big plays with him in the next 5 minutes, that's their way back into this game. But I'm telling you, that's really me digging for some good, breaths of fresh air for this Radiant lineup because this NIGMA lineup.
Mind control.
Okay.
Starting up again. The duel is there. September's giving the extra damage. TP support is coming in the form of Winter Wyvern as Mind Controls wants to walk away with the wave of terror of Super. Able to KS it. The Splinter Blast has not bounced down, so they're fine on that front. There will still be. Actually, it's a 3 bounty rune trade. Setsu wants to put the bounty rune he got, all those bottle charges to use. Going after Weeha. Knowing he's got his own sentry ward down, but then Weeha grabs the invis rune to his own bottle. And then he'll work out there's a sentry ward. Never mind, just breaks out free pretty quick.
You have to imagine he'll go probably like Deso Blink. He might even go Orchid after that, just because they have very limited lockdown for the Storm Spirit. He's really the only hero left in the game you have to concern yourself with. I really think on the side of NIGMA, you just ignore in terms of itemization the Drow. The PL's going to take care of her naturally with his kid. So just make sure you remove like the Storm Spirit Legion Commander combo from this equation, and I think you're good to go as this game goes on. I'm curious to see how they end up itemizing. This is one of the big kills I was talking about Storm Spirit being a part of, and they do manage to bring him down. Flips on to GH.
Well, Doom. Mind control, gets the Doom off, Super's nearby, Monet, able to hit from up on the hillside. The stop, he actually stopped it from the other side of the map. So Sensu is ticking down for the moment, but that long-range split shot from Monet will do the work. GH wants to do his own damage, can't get through the wall, the Gus pushes him back, Miracle doesn't care about that. Doppelganger's forward, Sensu still low on life, gets a little bit of extra life back again. And now they're going to go once again, another stop from GH, tries to create the space, the duel is already out, and the cutters in the back lines. Sensu's the primary target, Flywind will come over, so Sensu will fall, but Miracle will also join the list of the dead, and it's just an absolute slaughterfest. GH wants to get out of here, but the cold embrace, Kuro protecting him, giving him the life back, but the walls start to rise, and GH, everybody go to sleep. No, the glimpse interrupts him, and Flying Wind gets the double kill. That is, well, it's a bit of a debacle, really.
That was some funky stuff going on there, to say the least.
Radiant structures.
I think a lot of heroes that shouldn't die there died, on both sides. So very interesting result there, to say the least. That's about all I got for analysis of that.
Yeah, that's the midnight breakdown right there. Don't worry, we'll hit the 2 a.m. show and then things get really saucy.
Oh, yeah. Royal Jelly found. We do not see the debacle of the Singapore event where jellies were left aplenty on the ground.
No, I think teams have finally gotten very used to the fact that all these things are dropping. We're always looking now. And the next thing probably on the list of, like, how do we shore this up is the courier movement.
Yeah, it's really hard to just remember to use that you're using the courier, because you're using it like 5 times in the first 10 minutes as opposed to what you used to be in the early days. Unless you're a mid laner, of course. They have the shovel on GH. Gotta love that item.
Yeah, get those bounties right.
Nah, I'm all about the TP scrolls and the kobolds.
Bottom lane, Setsu, Miracle. Vortex gonna drag him back in, a little closer towards Setsu, but he'll Doppelganger a little bit further away as GH is in the neighborhood, ready to help out. They're actually TPing Disruptor down to bottom lane too, but you've got Drow Ranger farming underneath the Dire Obs ward. This is a lot of information still up for NIGMA, and they appear to be very happy with the current status quo, even though the gold advantage, it's pretty even across the board. I'm still looking to see what's going to happen with the Storm Spirit once he really starts to properly initiate. Having the Kaya, having that extra mana to work with.
I think there's just so much weight on his shoulders. I'm yet to see a Drow prove the statement wrong that you could scale against PL. It's just such a rough matchup. Legion Commander might be getting doomed up in the top lane, but
no, this is a zoning Scorched Earth.
I mean, he's graduated from having to use Doom to zone to just using the Scorched Earth. The Doom so far have been pretty underwhelming. I don't think any of the Doom targets have died because of the Doom. Yeah, Storm Spirit died in the mid lane, but he kind of went back in, and that's why he ended up dying.
Miracle's farming, Setsu. And he doesn't want anything to do with this.
Put in pop, Toby. Haste Rune on Drow does have the Poor Man Shield. Not actually bad for the 7 agility. Could be better items, but Against PL, honestly, even on a ranged hero, the value of the block is not that bad.
3-man smoke mover for RNG. Who are they looking for? They have no aggressive observer wards. Now plant one downburst right on top of a dire Obs and Sentry. Kuro, now he sees it, but Super's already swapped it back in again. Can he get this curse off? No, he can't. The storm is up. And 4 heroes from RNG. Now 5 heroes converse on the tier 1 tower. And well, with a stomp, Weeha still not ready to jump in just yet. Miracle charging his way forward, looking towards Setsu, throws out the lance. Setsu has enough mana to get himself down the river, begins to TP out underneath them. Have they got enough damage? No, they don't. No, and the gust pushes both Miracle and GH back off the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I think it's really good that they use the Disruptor ultimate there, because if you manage to get the Wyvern Curse off there, that could just spell disaster for RNG. They do get the deny from the Vengeful Spirit, somehow out last hitting a 280 damage TA, but
he had a couple of split shots from the Drow to worry about.
Yeah, obviously you're more concerned about just making sure you get the tower. You get the Vambrace on PL, that's pretty nice value. Always going for the double Wraith Bands, so it just frees up a slot for you. He has the Ironwood Tree as well as the Vambrace, so a lot of free stats coming out for him there. And the Iron Talon, actually. Oh, he only won 1 Wraith Band this game. I actually don't think it's worth it, generally speaking, to get that second Wraith Band, so maybe he'll be handing that off to somebody.
The dice scan looking for a target, or just making sure Kuro can move up the hill. Now it pings correctly, so they know someone's down there farming the Ancients. And at the same time, RNG also know who is where. De-warding does reveal.
Nice value, 5 armor coming out for Legion on that Dragon Scale. Really nice on any strength hero, pretty much, at this stage in the game.
Ones have blessed me.
And I always like this from Team NIGMA, where they are able to get rid of this tier 1 tower so early on the bottom lane, that then they're already pushing into the tier 2 tower. And you'll see the zoning once again. Legion Commander has to do the D-push. It's a little easier with level 4 overwhelming odds. They did actually fought the wave, so it was able to tank through this, buying a little bit more time up on the top lane. Setsu, first TP's coming in. That dude, man, the range for mind control just works so damn well. Here's the Infernal Blade. Miracle, well, he'll doppelganger to walk himself over and kill off Setsu. Well, Vengeful Spirit's looking for her own target. Kuro was the only one nearby, but he's already got the distance.
That was really well set up by mind control there. Even if they managed to glimpse the Doom, the PLT being in immediately means that he was going to be able to catch up to that Storm Spirit. I said that PL's good against Venge as well as Drow. You also can dodge the glimpse.
Close backhand, the wall doesn't come up in time, however, and Kuro tries to defend himself. The Column Brace will buy a little bit of extra protection. Did he try and curse? The stomp is off, and he'll curse over on Super. That's the stun for the duel. He didn't realize Flywind was coming up behind.
Oh, what? Meanwhile.
Oh,
okay, that's worth it now. I didn't realize that was going on.
Yep.
I don't think RNG did either.
Gotta remember, there's a Templar Assassin who's a little farmed up, and a PL that's a little farmed up.
Yeah, just a little, it's fine.
17-minute Roshan gets to fall. Welcome to Nethershore. Maybe not as great in this game.
Let's see, against all that physical damage, who can even afford to carry that? Really nobody, right?
Well, mind control's not switching it in.
Yeah, it's too much to give up, I think. Until you get like... Yeah, there's just no hero that naturally wants to carry that this game, I think. Going on the Doom top, potentially?
No, just towards the tower. Now he'll go over towards the Doom, but a Wolf Stomp is up, and, well, GH is nearby too with the Spirit. Setsu, gotta be careful if that damage comes a little closer, but the rest of Roll Never Give Up is also on the way. We already used that blink deck, but then Flywood just walks point blank. It's a great double silence, but the output of damage is just so high. Refraction was able to tank most of Monet's initial attacks, but now he's in trouble. Attacking back with the Mail Strike, over towards Super, working with Kuro, while Flywood keeps the chase going away from Miracle. He's trapped inside the wall, but he's got a nice on target. He's heading down towards Monet. Super, the TA trap will slow him down. Another stomp, Monet put to sleep. Super still trying to help out, gets stun over on Kuro. And it's just a split up fight, but the changes work as they 2-by-2. Now 4 players converge onto Monet.
That's about what it feels like to play Drow against PL.
And Storm has to jump out once again.
Are fortified.
Spending the entire fight running away, and then you still die anyway. All too familiar with a situation. I've been on both sides of that equation.
Dire's bottom tower.
Now tier 1 tower falls. That's the last remaining tier 1 tower, I believe, for the Radiant side.
Looking at the map, I can't confirm that, Toby.
And a couple of creeps that were blocking my vision for a second. Weeha, Cold Embrace, they're giving him some life. Vortex will come up, the curse over on Setsu. TP support's coming, but GH, he's got the splitter. Flywind's going to back up. Setsu, pull back in. He just manages to dodge the attack from Weeha. Super has to go for the sun. September wending around, but Weeha's already continuing the jump, chasing down the Storm Spirit a little bit further, but he bounces forward, full lightning himself far enough away. Super, now Weeha turns around for the easier kill. It's the support. Kuro working with him, more TA traps to keep the slow going. Press the attack tries to break free, but Diffuser Blade up for a miracle, meaning Flywind can't get back underneath the tier 2 tower. You can see Mind Control, he's already looking for the next target. The Dire scan, they realize Monet ran towards the south. Doombringer, he can't close the distance to get that Doom off. Even if he did, they're pretty close to home. So this is going to be a tier 2 tower attack as Team NIGMA continue to find opportunity after opportunity. Now pushing their advantage to 5,000, and with this tower going down, it'll probably crack the 6K.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think RNG's going to need a miracle to win this game, and miracle's on the other team, Toby.
Boom! I thought I had the bad jokes. You've got insults on Twitter during the break around that kind of thing. September on the run up into the tree lines. And he's like, oh, I have vision, but technically so does Kuro. Kuro's just going to try and take the outpost. They can see September TPing out. GH a little late, same with Weeha. The TA trap was just an inch too far to the northeast.
Yeah, I think GH's spirit came back to him right as he tried to stomp, so he missed it slightly because it returned to him for even just a half a second. Like I said, I think the weight on the Storm's shoulders to carry against this PL, he's really the only hero in all of
He's got such low mana, and Miracle can just close the distance. Setsu massively dry. And Miracle will claim his life. This Dawn Spirit was meant to be the one with the weight in his shoulders, getting in there, getting aggressive. But it's the other way around. And again, these two-man tag team fighters. Flywind's in the trees. Here in the cars, a little bit further down to the south, underneath the tower. A nice push away. Gets Monet out to relative safety. But there are 5 heroes from Team NIGMA converging on the north. They want to take out this tier 2 tower on the top now. Working with the catapult, we actually tanking to make sure the catapult stays up. They got the ET Spirit doing the scout and Miracle. Ready for that Phantom Rush forward. Flywin, are you actually thinking about the denial? He's not just thinking, he gets it.
Worth? Question mark?
And if he's got buyback, which he does, but then you're looking towards the base. Oh, man, September! Doomed up! They don't have the ultimate anymore. Weeha feels the license to die. September's like, can somebody deny me? I guess I'll just die the old-fashioned way and then have to buy back into the game. Another stomp. TA trapped. If they want to come out, RNG, they'll come into that big AoE damage. Doesn't mention the negative armor. Press the attack trying again. Create a little bit more distance for Fly when they get rid of the creep wave. But buying back. He's held from Disruptor, but expended for the Legion Commander. And they still lose both their tier 2 towers on mid and top.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I don't know, man. You gave PL a good PL game. I feel like last game was kind of a rough PL game, and now it's a good PL game. So it's like, I think it's almost just disrespecting Team NIGMA here. They've proven with PL this game, this patch and this tournament that they are...
They're going again in mid. Jump forward, Monet, Mind Control is the initiator. Oh no, the push! Monet went the wrong way, and now the curse. Setsu's going to kill off his one position, and then he'll be next on the list. They're waiting for the stun timer, and they've got him as well. 3 down for RNG and Team NIGMA. Now 22 minutes in, feel like they can push high ground. The creep wave, it'll be a coming. They can then get the backdoor protection off. Storm Spirit does not want to buy back without the Drow Ranger, and they've got no real strong D-push. They can potentially storm it up. Remember, there's no Aegis Immortal. It's already timed out. But September starts the harassment on Miracle. But doesn't matter. He'll doppelganger that off and send the illusions forward. Burn off the mana, get the extra information. Makes it impossible to blink forward. September. He's having a hard time just getting there, and they've already lost their mid lane of Rax. 23 minutes in. A Glyph, you know they want it. Doppelganger's up, but they'll pull back instead. Look at Miracle, run straight over towards September. They don't care about the storm. Weeha as well as Miracle, focusing down the support in towards Super, and GG is already called.
Wow.
23 minutes in, and Team NIGMA, they may have lost game 1. They had a marathon in game 2, but game 3, all going their way. And RNG, well, the question was, what happens when they get properly tested? They're getting properly tested.
Yeah, you know, I think it's been a while in this tournament since we say you can just chop it up to the draft. I really do think you can't. You gave them such a good PL game. Like Venge, Drow, Disruptor, all very weak against PL. Legion's just not enough. Suddenly you have Storm Spirit, who's your ideal counter in the game, and he's just getting doomed. Just does not feel good in that game. So so many check marks missed, I feel like, on the side of RNG's draft, and it was just so easy to just play what NIGMA needed to do. They took the Roche, they take map control, they can use Doom on anyone they want, really, and neither of your cores are scared of dying because TA has the Aegis, PL can doppelganger pretty much out of anything.
And Weeha getting to play the game he wants to play, like a fast-paced tempo who can snowball. Weeha, hell, they even banned the Ember Spirit in the 5th. Like, Team NIGMA banned it out at the very end. It's like, yeah, we're fine. We've got enough heroes for Miracle to take. You know he's already got the PL. We just start removing all these things. Like, they're getting everything they need, the kind of tempo they want, and just the combinations are perfect for NIGMA.
Yeah, and this is what we were looking for them at the start of the tournament. Everyone came in thinking they were a favorite, and then originally they were looking real shaky, losing their first series of the tournament against Fighting Pandas, and RNG on the other hand just clean sweeps everybody. And this is quite what I would say. I visioned this tournament to look like from the get-go before I saw anything. So it's all coming full circle, it looks like.
Yeah, but hey, this is what you want to see now. RNG will get the answer probably to the question in Game 4's draft. How does RNG play, or how does Team NIGMA play when they don't have the PL? Because that ain't coming back again.
I hope not, at least.
Welcome back, everybody, to the desk. The last game looked very different than this one. You edge, and then when you get into the next game, usually it does end a lot quicker. But let's actually talk about why PL completely undefeated here, Sin.
It's the lucky charm.
Well, this time it was different, I think, compared to the last game. It was like, this time they didn't really need it to be a lucky charm. They did super well in the lanes. GH was owning on Elder Titan. They got that hero this time because it's kind of the pick your poison. It goes both ways. Both teams have trademark heroes that the other team doesn't play. The GH Elder Titan was awesome. Weeha got to play his TA in a good matchup, in a good game. And this was very snowbally. If PL and TA have a good game and RNG don't really... I wanted to see them play aggressively here and get something done, but they weren't able to. The defense from NIGMA was too strong.
You just need Setsu to be completely in control, right? If he's playing that Storm with the Draw Ranger, he needs to be just zipping across the map, getting pickoffs, getting kills, just setting the tempo of the game. If he isn't doing that, if the game goes out of his hands, the draw is too easy to jump on. And
we're going to take a look at some of the key moments that actually led to this result as well, and we're going to be able to see a pretty large majority of the game with how quickly it did end up passing.
A lot of Dooms connected on Storm Spirit, actually. Something that... Usually you consider Storm one of the harder targets to just Doom, just walk up to and Doom, but it happened this game. Very interesting.
What do you think caused that to happen?
And Setsu was surviving this Doom, and then he jumps in, and now he just... That was like the Quap play on Storm right there. Yep. You spend your entire mana pool jumping in. It's kind of like blinking in with Queen, and then you have it on cooldown, you're committed. He gets cursed and killed. He survived the Doom. That was, I think, Setsu's first major misstep in this game was this one. And he gets Doom top at the tier 1 tower. I don't remember if that was before or after this, but his game was just not... It was just not good enough.
But listen, this is two wins in a row. This is 2 wins in a row for NIGMA, right?
Yep. Well, if the prophecy is true, it's over.
Yep,
pack our bags and go home.
Right, that is kind of something to talk about. I mean, this game just looks like such a different win, though, like we already did say, than the one that came right before it as well. They get it at a pretty good time in the series, so it's not like they're... I mean, do you think that they let him have PL again? That's kind of the first thing that I want to talk about, because we heard from BSJ even during the cast how different the games looked. And then we also hear from you, Sin, the idea that that first one wasn't necessarily a great game for PL. This one definitely looked like it was a PL game. Do you think that we're going to see any more of that hero?
I personally didn't think we would this series. I thought, or this game rather, I thought after it got through the first phase they were going to ban it, or if they let it through they get a better solution than just Legion Disruptor. I thought there was going to be a third or even fourth hero. The Storm matchup is kind of weird because it's good for Storm for a while if Storm has a good game, but at some point PL is going to reach 3 or 4 items, and at that point I don't think Storm really counts the hero anymore. So
in all honesty, I think they wanted this PL to be picked because I think they prepared for it and they thought that their plan, their strategy was good enough, but it obviously wasn't, because you picked first. You know they want that PL. They love to play it, and then you also pick Draw Ranger. It's obvious they will pick it.
Yeah.
All right. You lose to it. It's fine. You live and you learn. You ban it next game.
This isn't exactly the place, though, that you want to be living and learning, right? I totally agree with you.
They've been doing it for the last few days, so
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we brought that up just like so many times, though. When we saw that in the draft, it really did seem to you guys like they're saying, okay, go ahead, go for the PL. We know what we're going to do against it. Definitely doesn't work this time. We're probably going to see the course change just a little bit. Probably not going to allow that PL to go through. I mean, any other changes that you're really thinking about right now when you're thinking about this next game?
What else did RNG ban this game? So I think NIGMA had first pick, right? And they banned Abaddon, IO,
And Lich.
and Lich.
Lich is
So you
the repeating one.
you need to choose now if you thought letting Elder Titan through was a mistake, and then I think you need to rate PL as a serious threat. Like if the enemy team is first pick and the opening you're going to go for, I thought their opening was pretty good against PL, right? It's Legion Disruptor. It's not awful. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty good. Didn't really close it out that much. If you're not specifically planning to beat this hero, get rid of it so that you can keep your mind off it. At least second phase.
At least second
At
phase.
least.
That's what I want to say too. Yeah.
All right. So you guys are definitely in agreement here. I mean, this does seem like a very big shift, though. All of a sudden, it's looking pretty hopeful for Enigma. They can close it out in just one more game. And as everybody in the panel said before, you thought if they were going to be able to grab two, they should be able to convert that third. They have a little bit of breathing room to do it as well. It's not like they have to go on that full reverse sweep, right? So they are definitely going to be very favored in this one. I do want to, one more time, though, just think about how different these teams were, right? Because we talk about Enigma just constantly gaining power, and the more games they have, the scarier they're going to be. We talked about RNG potentially being that team that came in and just was consistently performing. Do you think that that comes into play at all during the final? Do you think that we are going to see Nigma getting scarier and potentially in this next game having cracked the code?
It definitely looks that way right now, but I'm not necessarily sure if they cracked the code or they're just playing PL. You know, maybe it's just a one-trick pony and that's about it. What happens if that PL is not in the game? What happens if they do ban out that PL? That's the only thing.
All right, guys, and now we're actually going to be heading over right now to the augmented reality map. We're walking over there right now. I know you can't see us. One of the tricks of show business. Syndrome's just walking very slow, so I had to let you guys know. Yeah, production told me they're like there's something wrong with the way that Syn's walking, but we've made it over, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Lich here. And I'm going to really let Sin kind of drive us through everything happening with his incredibly glowy brain on this beautiful map with the beautiful Lich.
We're
being
moved.
physically moved by tall Ukrainian men. Oh, my turn. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, not there. All right, there we go. All right, we've been unhanded. Let's take a look. Oh, never mind. Here we go.
What if I move?
All right, yeah, there we go. Man, I thought we were going to wait until the after party for the Ukrainian men to push us all over the place. But now, let's take a look at Lich. Oh, they're okay. Let's take a look at that. I haven't been manhandled that much since college. What do you see here, Sid?
I see a Lich. It's a big one, too, and it's nice and frosty. I've got to be honest with you. I'm not completely sure which clip we're going into right now. So
they want us to talk about Lich. We're going to talk about some of
behind
Lich's
him.
abilities. He's been picked a whole bunch in this tournament.
I mean, honestly, he's been banned a lot, and it's probably because Dendy's here.
Hello. Привет.
It's invading.
Invading our stream, da.
Cool.
What do you think about Lich?
Beautiful.
Beautiful, da. Very cold.
Very cool. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. Chat right now is probably just saying, Dendy, Pog, Sind, lol.
Dendy, come back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Stay with
No,
us.
you need to move over there.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Become Lich.
Hey, buddy.
They're yelling at me. They're like, don't let Dendy touch. Don't let Dendy touch.
You can touch me.
I wanted to touch Lich Ball.
Lich's ball?
Lich's ball.
Oh. Okay.
Frost ball.
All right, we'll see you later, Dendy. I can't wait to see what he decides to touch at the after party. Now, let's talk about everything going on this map. Let's take a look at the beautiful Lich. It's blocking Lizard right now. They just said they were doing such a terrible job that they said we can go to the commercial break. We're going to try again a little bit later if they don't fire us.
spit! Sniper here. Attack! Illusion! Why you... No!
Rig Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
Play smarter with Gosu AI. Add a bot to your friend list and find out how good you are. At farm, at team fights, at laning, and much more.
Well, if any of you are in the market for an augmented reality map or any augmented reality equipment, shoot me a DM on Twitter. We're getting rid of that piece of junk and we're never using it again, but I think that they might be quite pricey. Maybe NIGMA will want one because they are very close to securing this tournament. They're one game away, and maybe they'll use their prize money to buy that busted piece of ass. Let's talk about what we expect to see, though, in this next game coming up. We've talked a lot about PL. I don't think we really do need to cover that anymore, but is there anything that we are seeing NIGMA particularly thrive in at the moment?
I believe he is playing a series of the tournament so far for him. He's very stable on pretty much all of these games. Even in the first game that they've lost, he's been playing outstanding. He won his lanes. So far, I think that's one of the things that they should, that he should keep on doing. Keep on winning.
Just kind of enable
Just
it,
win, bro.
Right? Yeah, I mean, there is kind of that slight mindset of, when a player's hot, he's hot. Try to enable him as much as you can. But when we do look on the other side of things, right, and we actually do start talking about RNG, all the way back when we started off this series, we talked about the idea, and Lizard, you really talked about the idea that they maybe had a little bit more reps, maybe understood the meta a little bit more. Synderen, do you feel like we're seeing that right now in their drafts, or do you think that that's maybe an idea that we had to leave all the way back in that first game?
It's possible that their idea is that Phantom Lancer is not as good as what NIGMA think, and then they're just like, we can beat it. We don't think the hero's that good, because have they actually played it this tournament? Maybe they've played it like once on Monday, but they've been prioritizing other heroes at the very least, way higher than NIGMA have. So, it's just at some point you kind of have to swallow your pride, right? And be like, okay, it's not working, let's do something else. And I think this is the game they do it.
The amount of reps that they've had before, perhaps they played versus that PL, but versus some lesser teams, right? Maybe that's giving them this false confidence that allows them to let PL go through even when there's a draw in the game.
And they give it about as many attempts as you can, right? They can't afford to do any more science at this point with PL. They've danced with it already, and they know how that number ends. So I do kind of agree that we probably will see it go. They did their experiment, now move on to the next one. I mean, what are you thinking about, though? I mean, the second that you do start looking at that PL, what openings are going to actually pop up in that draft?
It depends on the phase, because this game, NIGMA did not rate it high enough to pick it first phase because they got Doom and ET. If those are still in, they might be able to get the same trade, ban PL second phase, and then go from there. But the problem is now they're probably a little bit scared about it, so they might end up banning it first phase, and then we get a different situation because
there we go. It's banned out.
There you go. See you later.
Yeah,
that cost you 2 games, and it also cost Geek Fam. Was it 1 or 2 games as well? I feel like I've seen Miracle play PL all day. Like every time I feel like he's played him.
All right, so what went through? Abaddon went through, and Omni Knight perhaps.
Abaddon, Doom, Omni. No IO still though. Yeah, Abaddon, Doom, Omni. I think are the big three. Venge is through as well if RNG want to go that strat.
Well, Drow Ranger obviously with that Venge.
Yeah. Oh, and the Puck is the last ban again from NIGMA. I think the first pick here is going to be Abaddon from RNG. It's that or Doom. Whichever they think is better. They probably feel like Doom is good. Like the first game, they were in control.
The most success they've had so far in this tournament, I believe, is with that Abaddon and Wisp. So perhaps that's the hero for them.
I think what they're thinking now is what 1-2 trait do we like? Because you can take the Doom and then you give
Abaddon.
Omni Abaddon, which you're happy with, so you're not scared of that one. You can take Abaddon, give Doom Omni. Maybe they feel like that one is also. I don't think there's any of the traits that are inherently terrible for them. So I think they can take whichever one they rate higher. And they're taking some time to
just open up
discuss
with Venge for them as well. They have multiple strategies that are revolved around that Vengeful Spirit. You have the SF one on Setsu, you have the Drow Ranger as well, so...
You could definitely do that, because there's the other three. You will get at least one, but then it will be NIGMA's choice which one you get. And maybe that's a little bit scary, because I think Doom is better against Omni than he is against Abaddon. And what NIGMA could do then is they could pick Doom Abaddon.
Doom is picked up by RNG, so...
Okay, so safe. Standard, they felt like it was good game one, and it was. And this time it will not be facing PL, which is inherently a pretty good hero against Doom. It can doppelganger off the Infernal Blade in lane. Later on in the game, you don't know which one to Doom. It's really stressful. It's very confusing team fights. And in that game, September actually did an exceptional job on Doom in that first game. So I don't think confidence will be a problem for him on that one.
If he's the one playing it again,
True.
right?
It definitely could be
position
Flywin.
4, yeah.
It could be Flywin.
Waiting here to see what NIGMA has up their sleeves. Obviously, we're not going to be seeing more of the same here. Pretty excited, honestly, because I really did like what you said, Sin, the idea of are they going to be able to crack the code? Because it did feel like that was the entirety of the tournament. The final boss definitely felt like it was RNG. Now they're facing them, and they've definitely served some pretty large blows. A lot of it looked like it was getting done with PL.
My question is, were they cracking the code of RNG or their own code? Like, is PL maybe the thing that they need to win?
It has RNG cracked the NIGMA code. Well, we have to refer to the prophecy here, Lizard, and NIGMA have just won 2 games. So, but this was not how I expected it to happen. That's the thing. Like when I made the prediction, I didn't think they were going to win twice with PL. That was going to be the case.
I mean, you can even go a step further, right? I think that first game's not how you expected it to go either. That was totally off the back of a mistake. If you're just tuning in right now, it was RNG's game to throw, and they do just that. And it goes all the way to, I think it was 81 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, 30k network lead lost.
Yeah. It was a doozy. A little bit of an oopsie-doopsie. And I've had a few of those, so I can definitely call them when I see them. Now it's on you guys to call what you see. What are you seeing here for your
Shaker.
I like it more than Abaddon Omni, to be honest. But
yeah, me too. But I at the same time, I think both Rubik and Omni Knight are now really good picks. Status resistance is amazing against Shaker. Rubik has kind of which amazing spell would you like today?
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
And Rubik is the most played hero of the tournament and still has a pretty high win rate, like 58, 60%.
Yeah. Largely because RNG have been winning a lot with it, I think. But also Geek Fam have had success with it on Zephyr.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to keep in mind, though, like when you look at the entire tournament, especially in minor, right? Some of those numbers are going to be skewed, right, by some of the teams.
Right, because of it's just flat out skill difference in the groups. There will be some heroes that have way worse win rates than they actually should, and some that have way better.
Yeah, I mean, just think about how Group A actually looked, right?
There you go.
There's the Omni.
We have the Omni. Yep. Some sustain on both sides. Abaddon on one side, Omni Knight on the other.
No surprises, though. That's the thing. Like, this is a first phase that both teams could have easily predicted could happen. So, who's going to throw the first curveball? We know it's not going to be PL this game. Let's stop talking about PL now. I've talked about it enough, but I was still kind of surprised. But what can you do now? So NIGMA's go-to has been, if they haven't had that, they've had Lich Ember, where they don't get the Lich now. So that's also not a possibility. What has Miracle played? He played Slark and lost.
Slark is banned, so he's not
so he
going
won't
to
even
get that.
play that. Yeah.
That Ember was picked up, I believe, versus Drow Ranger, right? To win as a gap closer.
Yeah, they used it for gap. They played it against multiple different things with Lich, but I think the Lich is really integral to how they play it in the laning stage. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we've even seen Miracle play. Alchemist in game 1, they lost.
They can probably go back.
It's not like, the way I'm saying it, I'm making it sound like Miracle can't play this hero, Miracle can't play this hero. That's not the point. It's more, I mean, you still got to look at the bottom line, right? Did it work or not?
Are you flaming Miracle?
I think he can play all of those heroes. But he can play almost every hero in the game.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the carry players that have played the most different heroes in the last 2 years, I would say. His hero pool is extremely good.
Huskar banned out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard call right now because NIGMA's lineup this time, similar to the last game, their supporting cast or utility cast, if you will, is relatively slow. Shaker, Abaddon, not too kill hungry, relatively counteractive.
I like OD for both sides right now. I think hero would be pretty alright.
OD versus Doom is a...
You think, yeah.
It goes both ways. If you get Doom,
Doom definitely. You're right. Doom definitely has.
If you Doom someone else, you can banish them. You can buy time for Abaddon to catch up. He can shield. You know, you can buy time and.
But versus Omni, you're pretty good. There's also that. But Doom definitely is a problem. You're right.
I think there's a good chance NIGMA actually ban that as their next ban. Because you are facing an RNG team that have 2 counter picks now and a 10 pick. Or okay, they're not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with you. I think Doom is still a problem. OD is one of those heroes. You get doomed and ran by Doom. You can just die to him alone if he's farmed enough. So eliminates you completely out of the game. Not that he doesn't do that to every other hero too after he dooms them.
Well, he does do it with Abaddon for the most part. Okay, so RNG have yet to face OD, I think, in a game. I am not sure if they have... Going off memory, so they played it themselves in game 1 and won.
You mean just in this series or
just in general in the tournament? I don't know if they've played against OD, but in game 1 they used OD as a counter to Omni Abaddon, and now we're gonna need to see, okay, what's their read on OD? Do they think Doom is enough? Is this where you play a Drow strat?
Is this where you go Avenge SF?
Yeah, Avenge SF. SF is pretty good against OD in lane generally. Most important thing is you don't psych yourself out. Like, the mentality right now is arguably more important than the draft, I almost want to say, in this game. Like, and they kind of go hand in hand. If you're too psyched out, you overthink it, you do something wonky that wasn't necessary. And they're going to keep it simple. Oh, actually, not. I thought it was Venge.
I thought it was Venge as well, but
I'm actually not sure if Venge is banned.
That could be true. It could have been banned. Not in the first phase, but in the second one, I believe, right?
They banned TA and...
Huskar on the other side, right?
NIGMA banned TA, right?
We'll see.
We'll see it in a sec.
Yeah.
So, okay, Queen of Pain, generally considered a lane counter to OD. In the low levels, OD can't reach the banish, and even if OD does, it comes at the cost of taking a Shadow Strike, so...
Definitely a lane that's not too easy for OD, or not easy at all.
Oh, they're gonna take the draw.
They're gonna take the draw, yeah.
Alright.
At the same time, now you have quite decent ways of dealing with the Queen of Pain later on, and that fissure from the fog is always difficult to deal with.
GH showed that in game 1 very well. I think Queen died twice to getting fissured off screen. Okay, so second hero that they like playing themselves that we need to see a solution for, and the one we know is PL, but that's banned. So how are you gonna handle the Drow? Are you going to go for something like Lycan that we've talked about before? Is that a hero they even play? I think Monet does play that, but you need something that closes the gap. I don't think Quap is a counter to Drow at all. Like, that is not going to cut it. You can't expect to blink in and be able to kill her. She's going to gust you away.
And there's Abaddon as well.
There's protection. Doom is not reliably going to be able to kill the Drow either, so you need something that either kills her or forces her out of the fight. And that's part of the reason I like Lycan against the hero in general. It's just, you can send your minions at her and she's kind of... That's a done deal, and you can play the fight meanwhile.
That's the real counter. But
that is an old school counter, but in this patch, this hero is very, very slow and hard to pull off. I'm worried.
They do have a super and they do have a super active Queen of Pain at the same time, right?
It's not
so there's that.
I think it's okay with their lineup. But at the same time, I think OD is pretty good against Spectre. Spectre's nice against Shaker. It has its merits here, and I love seeing this. And it's a best of 5. You know, it's elimination. They're getting creative, and I don't think this is the the kind of creative that I was talking about, where you just go, okay, what the hell are they doing? Like, I can see the logic. You can't dagger on Shaker while Haunt is on. You have somebody that can get on top of the Drow at the cost of being pretty susceptible to OD. You can't have everything in this pick.
And also not really the strongest hero in the laning stage, at least.
Absolutely.
At the same time, I'm wondering about this Queen of Pain pick, because so far in the tournament, I have not seen them play Queen of Pain, right? Besides...
the last game.
2
games ago,
Yeah. So very interesting that they switch things around so hard in the grand finals.
They actually backed off from their Venge. It wasn't the pool.
Yeah, because Setsu was just winning lanes for them.
Setsu is sexu.
Yeah, very sexu with his Huskars and ODs and bucks.
Why are you looking at me weird? He said it first. I thought it was good. I thought it deserved a repeat.
All right, you think that's good?
Definitely didn't. It definitely didn't. Especially not for me as well. But I love the tease. I love the tease, the one looking at us.
Rich only makes great jokes.
Dude, I'm not. I wasn't making anything right now. I was just looking at Quap. I was letting you guys do the work. You're about to go on break.
And then you're like,
what I mean?
somebody else.
What do you think of Chen, though? What do you think of Chen?
Not very sexual. But he's
does allow you to be fairly active with the Queen of Pain early on and create that space that the Spectre will need. So you have that idea behind it. You get a lot of sustain as well from him from Omni Knight, but the only question is, will the Queen of Pain and Spectre be enough for your damage? Spectre is coming to the party quite late, while Queen of Pain is going to be the only active hero in the mid game, right? After the laning stage, that is.
Yeah, she knows how to party, Rich.
Well, let's see who's going to be able to win this entire party. Who are you liking more in this draft?
I think overall I like NIGMA a bit more, especially because I think... So this Spectre Chen, the last pick from NIGMA we should mention was the Darkseer that they grabbed in the end. And generally, I would say historically, NIGMA with Darkseer has been really strong. We had one game earlier this tournament where they had it with Io, and we were like, this draft looks weird. And then suddenly, boom, they just flicked the switch and Darkseer took over the game. This time around, he's playing against a Spectre. That's a really easy lane. Finally, a lane where I think Darkseer can actually win for once. And mind control on this hero in important games is a treat. It's with Shaker. You could look for a big combo.
Combos,
and perhaps there's the possibility as well, because of that hero, that Shaker doesn't need to buy a blink. You could maybe get Force Staff, you could get a little bit creative with your items, you can surge in the Shaker, you have a vacuum to set up Shaker for success, so he isn't as reliant on doing it on his own. Maybe there's something going on there.
Kind of feels like things definitely coming together for NIGMA now, and this is a good place for them to be able to do it if you are a NIGMA fan. Started off very shaky for them. They had some very, very, very tough road, all in all, to even get here. But now we're going to be heading to the desk where NIGMA might be able to take the entirety of this grand final with this next game.
Yeah, this is the real desk. Thanks, Rich. We're here for Game 4. Ready to rock and rumble and see what we got with an OPL game. But
yes.
We've got a classic back. The OD is up for Weeha.
That is true. I am so glad we're not going to see Phantom Lancer, because every single time that, like, about yesterday's when it started, every single game I saw at PL, I was like, that's the draft I favor. that hero just feels way too strong right now compared to everybody else. And nice little shot of our English and Russian analysts.
The hard worker boys. All right, guys, let's go have a beer. Let's just have a little bit of fun.
They're going to go check out the after party, I'm sure. This is also our goodbye to both Synderen and Lizard.
Farewell.
Who are going to be taking off as they have early flights in the morning.
Yeah, just to also explain, like, that's why Cap's here as well, as BSJ is also on his early flight. I think Rob's also gone as well. Like, everyone's dropping like flies, but don't you fear. We still have a fully manned crew.
You could say we're in it for the long haul, Toby.
Hell yeah, we got stamina. That's what you get as you get older, right? You get stamina.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
As a man about to hit his 30s, I'll agree with that.
That's right, you haven't hit it yet. My God.
So there was this Darkseer pickup is a little bit puzzling to me. I figured they were probably going to be running a 5 event. We were going to get a different offlaner. I'm just not fully convinced that this is the game-winning hero. There's just a couple reasons. It combos with Earthshaker with Vacuum, yes, but with Ion Shell, not so much. I'm not convinced that the Surge typically feels best on melee heroes, right? That can just run at people. Here, I don't think Surge is
essentially, like, if the Fidget can land, then I think Flywind's actually in a hell of a lot of trouble. Just continuously silenced up by Kuro, and with a slow from Miracle and the body blocks from GH, first blood is spilled. And Miracle is the man to claim it.
It always feels good in this situation where you're up a series and you're already going to start off with the first blood. RNG on the other side, they're already beginning to sweat a little bit. It also tips them off that they are definitely doing a tri-lane, defensive tri-lane to start. So Mind Control should be a little bit careful with his positioning.
And then we go straight back into it again. Look at Miracle, he's moving off the lane. It's like, hey, if at first you don't succeed, actually no, at first we did succeed. Try it again. And another silence coming in.
And there's nothing a Doom could do about this. He attacked Miracle a little bit, but they're just going to keep the slows on him this entire time.
Gotta get in front. Extra slow for the cold arrow to connect. GH trying to stay with him. He body blocks him into the trees. A second death. There is, however, some experience being lost, but Miracle's going to get back to the tower with a TP to get both of the waves that are underneath the tier 1.
And September, he's going to have to pop his Scorch Earth here because he's in trouble. He's going to be blocked in. And then with GH getting in front of it, oh my goodness, RNG's just pulling apart.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, at least get something back on the bottom lane. Get the Darks here. Nope, not Mind Control's even leaving this attack. Because the Spectre can't get involved in this. Man, I actually thought, like, Miracle's not going to be involved in a lot of kills for a while because he's playing a Drow Ranger, right? Like, he's not playing an Ember, he's not playing a PL. He can't get involved in these fights, but nope. Continuously set up by GH.
Well, this is another reason they can pick the Darkseer early. There's pretty much no counters to him when it comes to laning phase. He can do a really good job pressuring the Spectre. He might end up dying here, but he is going to get probably level 3 GH on the rescue.
He was on the top lane, now he's going to come down to bottom lane. And the Fidget block is up. Okay, give an extra Iron Shell. Now it's going to do some damage into Super. Mind Control will end up falling as GH surged forward looking for that last bit of damage. Has he actually got the Fission not off cooldown, but the Iron Shell is on GH, so he's burning down Monet. One more attack, he's a little out of range. One more will do it. No, Monet lives on 20 HP. And he's going to TP all the way back to base.
The best part is like, GH had to commit for that kill because other situations, you'd be able to just burn him out of regen and be like, oh, well, he doesn't have a lane. But with the Chen, you can always TP back and then get pulled in again. So that is just going to be perfect for RNG. A decent recovery for them.
Very true. And they're already setting up to go again on bottom lane. And up on top, I don't think Kuro is giving this Doombringer just any kind of time to think.
Yeah, Jesus, they just attacked this top lane, got themselves a decent little advantage to start. Look at that. Miracle 2 levels above Flywind.
CS through the roof.
I mean, the way they set this up is just this poor Doom support is not going to have any teeth in this laning phase.
And what does he do? Like, he doesn't rotate towards the bottom lane and change anything up, and Chen's having to hug the bottom lane to be the presence. He's not going to rotate, bring an army like we with like the Chen of old, right? Like I'd always have 2 creeps. I'd go around, I'd gank. Like the top lane's not going well. I just arrive and just change the balance of it. Get a stun, get something. Right now it's like I got a fool and I can deny things, and that is all.
Yeah, Super pretty much has to be planted down here in the bottom lane because Spectre otherwise gets too pressured once you get like level 2 Ion Shell from a Darkseer. So, you know, he's not going to be able to have that presence in mid lane where a Quap ganking with a Chen, they could very easily kill Weehop, but he is going to be glued down to bottom. And similarly, I don't think September's going to be able to do much either. He's just going to have to pull for Flywind to make his lane a little bit better so we can get to that really coveted level 3 and level 5. Purification finally becomes a strong enough nuke that you can easily kill range creeps and deal with harassment.
It's never a great situation though, like when you can't punish an Abaddon for being between your tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Like, and he's not even the core. Mind Control's having a lot of fun with his Iron Shell damage. Got a huge creep wave to work with, but of course Super causing a lot of damage of his own. Mind Control have to search back to the tier 1 tower. He has nothing more to give, that's why he's just being as aggressive as he can. He'll go all the way back to base, and they're just chaining it. Now ES gets to, actually, I think he's bringing supplies to the front lines.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's just going to healing salve up the Darkseer, maybe a couple mangoes so they can spam. Okay.
Soul Ring.
Yeah.
First item up now for the Spectre.
I like that. It gives you the lane regen that you need and also the ability to spam dagger because it's going to get a little hard to get some of this CS, especially the range creeps. Oh, what a beautiful creep to pick up.
No, what a beautiful creep to potentially lose. Not the fidget from GH. Didn't connect. Now the hit. Gonna live. It does.
He needed to hit that Harpy with the Fisher because that Harpy is so dangerous in the laning phase. It just spams so much damage over time.
And GH has a lot of movement speed to work with. A lot more than super supports coming over from Mind Control. Okay, maybe not the Harpy. The range damage and GH will have to back off. Alright, so things are starting to balance out a little bit. So yeah, Team NIGMA did get off to a pretty good start, but you look at the advantage gold-wise, it's still swinging a little bit in favor of RNG. Spectre with 18 denies on the lane, Queen of Pain with 16 of her own denies.
Yeah, that's an insane number of denies.
Yep.
These two have managed to accomplish. Spectre expected because he's matched up against Darkseid. Oh, finally
wow.
Setsu managed to get a big kill on Weeha. I was going to say that mid lane should tilt one way or another about now.
And Setsu gives the tip back.
Setsu's just been a monster at times at this tournament. There have been very few games where he has been a detriment to RNG. Oftentimes he's winning his lanes and turns around, just creates a lot of space. Monet is able to recover quite a bit. Here he's going to have to do something very similar to most of his trajectory in this tournament with the Queen of Pain. A fast-paced hero in a game where there is no other core that can keep pace with Quap.
Smart for him. He's standing right on top of the rune, so you can't see it. No possibility for a denial. So it's a save for Setsu, but there's more support running around the back of Baden. Now GH gets the initial stump. Remember, you got the haste through from Setsu, but then again, they're taking so much orb damage. Have you got a hammer? That's going to be a little too far out of range.
Yeah, probably feeling like Queen of Pain, the double null talismans, probably just has too much mana for the Sanity's Eclipse to be able to do damage, so. A little bit surprised that, I mean, I guess because of the Siege Wagon spawning, they want to make sure that the Queen of Pain doesn't pressure the OD, kill him, and then the Siege Wagon push on mid. You really need to keep up that mid tower if you're NIGMA. Nice purge.
Having the purge and the heal now. He'll put it on one of the creeps. Come on, super time to micro.
Yeah.
Monet has moved over, and Mind Control has no way to get himself away from this now. Without the surge available, just leaves another Iron Shell. So, okay, super. Micro.
We were just talking about this last series in the green room, how annoying that purge ability can be because it's such an insanely low cooldown. The downside of it is with, you know, when you eat it as a Doom, it's 120 mana. As a Chen, when you get the purge creep, that's pretty easy. He's got plenty of mana pool on that Satyr.
This does not feel like a kill you can really go for, right? Because that's just, he just blinks away every time. As long as it's up, of course.
I like how Kuro sat there anyway, though. He's like, maybe
I can hit him, but 4 times.
Maybe I can hit him 4 times in half a second.
Yep. Anything's possible, right?
All right, well, Setsu, I think with his ultimate coming off cooldown, it's just a wise time to go back to the fountain and see if there's an opportunity for you to TP to one of the side lanes.
They move to the bottom lane. GH, trying to keep the run going, just instantly begins to TP. He realizes there's no stun and has enough life to get all the way home. A second Soul Ring up and running on the Omni Knight. And yeah, just Setsu can go out, Ham doesn't care how much damage he takes as long as he can get out of here. Koro, oh, this one he wants to go after. September, 1 hit, yay. And we
showed him.
Yeah, Setsu, 1 hit, 2 hit, 3, no.
So I think one of the really nice things about this support event, it was one of the reasons that I thought it was going to be 5 is it's matched up against Doom. You feel really good about 5 Abaddon versus Doom, just because you are countering a core with your support. That is such a fantastic position to put yourself when it comes to drafting. And so as long as you aren't punished in the laning phase, which they weren't, obviously, if anything, it went fantastic up there, then this is just going to feel good for the rest of the game. You can't Doom a 5-position Abaddon. There's just no way you can reliably win team fights that way. So you're just going to have to put up with this guy giving a bunch of Photic Shields and Miscoils.
Team NIGMA's already moving their lanes around. They've sent the Drow Ranger to the bottom lane. Like, he is number 1 on the CS board and is coming up to that 10-minute mark where we always look for the prep work to be done to open up the outpost. Phase boost for Monet. GH coming around the back. And the Fissure on the wrong side. So Monet can make a break for the tree lines, and double TP's already coming in. Super, he'll walk in the old-fashioned way. Mind Control having a hard time getting away. And there it is. Setsu Easy rotation in. Mind control will tick out.
So I guess they were thinking they were going to Fisher Monet on the right side and then silence to make sure he couldn't dagger over the Fisher and to potentially burst him down. But I still think that was a bit greedy. I mean, just one well-timed TP from an Omni Knight could turn that engagement. And, well, they didn't even need that much.
September's going to battle for the top shrine. Kura sitting right on top of the rune, so September won't be able to claim that.
So look at that. September ignores the bounty rune and immediately goes to right-click the outpost.
It's worth more, right?
If nobody has a stun, right, it's whoever clicks on it first in that situation. Kuro can't do anything to stop that. So he managed to deny the experience away from NIGMA.
That's definitely value. Got just rune after rune. If actually a haste rune for Wii. Moving off the lane.
See, I am of the argument that you should be able to counter the channeling with your own channeling.
Okay.
That way you don't have to have a stun
but
to deal with that.
Or at least slow it down so it's like a tug of war, right?
Something like
we've
that.
both got
Yeah,
our hands on the
outpost, and then whoever goes first. Yeah.
I like that. I like it. I'll vote for a petition on that. Trusty shovel. RNG. Combination. Also a minor class.
I mean, especially since this is going to be a longer game, right? You see Spectre on one side, Drone Ranger and OD on the other.
OTH. Close the distance. They even. Oh, Setsu.
Oh, no.
Spectral Hawk comes in. The combination didn't hit perfectly on Setsu. The gust back. Silencing on 3. That is not the fight I think both teams were looking for. Hilariously enough, not everyone was there either.
Yeah, maybe a little fatigue is getting to GH here because we saw early on in the laning phase at bottom, he could have fissured a bit sooner to try and go for that Spectre kill, kind of messes that up here. He actually casts it too early and doesn't manage to get the stun.
He expended too much energy. Like the NIGMA guys walking backstage here before and everyone's kind of got their heads down, a little bit focused. GH pokes his head, it's just like, high five, high five, ready to go.
That's GH, man. He just cannot turn it off. He is just such a fountain of hope and youth.
Another Fisher a little bit off target. He's got the Echo Slam and he's just going to go for it. Setsu, the damage output. Everyone else backed up already from Team NIGMA. They weren't ready to fight with him, and he's got to deny the double damage ring or else Setsu must get everything back once again.
Middle tower is under attack.
Not a whole lot of movements right now, just because both teams are pretty happy with jungling. You've got September, who kind of needs to recover a bit because they didn't have the greatest laning phase. Monet with the Soul Ring and Phase Boots is able to jungle pretty efficiently. And obviously every Drone Ranger and needs to be able to take some time to jungle. But still have not really seen RNG make as many aggressive moves as I want them to.
But do they need to? You know, like it's like in the last game, because was talking about, like, you look for the hard counters, right? Like, does Doom counter this, or does this counter this? Spectre just spent, like, taunts right on top of the Drone Ranger, comes in with Radiance, and you already feel like you've got a large portion of the fight already won. Like, until you get Aghanim Scepter and you can start chaining, like, your control factors with the imprisonments, it still feels pretty damn good for RNG if they keep the status quo.
I agree with that, but I think even better than keeping the status quo is maybe getting an advantage in towers. And I think they can do that because Mind Control is going to be a bit slow at actually bringing this one tower down, so they can take this top one and then rotate back down because they know Drone Ranger doesn't want to actually go to a lane. She wants to continue to farm up ancient creeps and such. Honestly, NIGMA's just not ready to fight just yet. So if you can close off the map a bit more and start limiting the farm that WeHop as well as Miracle are trying to take out of those neutral creeps, then it'll do wonders for you. But we'll see if they actually rotate down to bottom to defend or not, or if they just keep on playing in that for the Dire jungle.
Yeah, they're just getting at least one Observer Ward down right on top of the Dire Shrine. And a little bit, okay, second one up on the hill. Really good information for RNG, just know how much they can control the north. The Team NIGMA also have 2 of Dire Observer Wards around the jungle as well. Setsu blinks away before the 4th hit from Kuro can come. Just easy to time for him.
Another one of those advantages that RNG is going to have in this draft, Sentry, thank you. It's going to make sure that Flywind doesn't get caught.
Miracle. I think it was actually hoping for the Gust to start the initiation because they got some help from Abaddon to come from behind, but without that initial Echo Slam, there isn't a kill.
It's a wonderful thing about 5 Abaddon, right? You can always play super forward. You can always be on the enemy side of the map because if you run into an enemy who really cares, you've got borrowed time. It's going to take them so much of an effort to bring you down that it's usually worth the exchange. Just the information creates a lot of space.
I feel such a difference between the itemization as well, the offlanes of these two teams. Like, okay, Doom just gets a blink dagger. Yeah, he's not the real offlane, but it's like September's able to get now that jump with the Doom, and you get arcane boots for a Darkseer. Like, who's really being enabled here? Is it meant to be enabling GH? Because GH will get the blink dagger, but he's going to do most of his damage from the Echo Slam, not from an Iron Shell.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be more about the vacuum combination that they can get with that Earthshaker, but they need a more reliable initiation than they have from just the Darkseer alone. So I like the fact they gave GH a lot of room. Pick up this blink, that way they can slow down what RNG is kind of doing right now. They're rolling forward at NIGMA.
Quickly shielding Weehar away. Kuro was waiting. They did see the Radiant Observer Ward being planted down. Miracle on the defense job. Great wave clear as always. But
I mean, just look at his timing, right? Like, he's going to have his blink dagger about this time. This might actually defeat the push that RNG is hoping for, which is taking that all critical mid tower early.
They're trying to get the Alpha Wolf. Miracle's been trying to reach it for a while. Now, take out the Frost Ogre.
It's
take out
too
the defense.
Much. Unfortunately, they're like 20 seconds too late, right? Because it's on the courier right now. So...
yeah, Inspector's just going to haunt him. They don't have the numbers for the fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In that case, Mind Control just chilling out bottom lane.
Radiant's
Wants to
bottom
always
tower
be
is under
bringing
attack.
somebody down to that bottom tier 2 because it's so far away from where RNG wants to play. They don't want to play this bottom part of the map or that bottom right corner either. They want to play up towards mid, up towards the top lane, take those jungle areas and really limit NIGMA to farming the triangle and maybe some of the Radiant.
GH has a blink right now. That's revealed. September going to blink with it. Almost hitting the right money. The Mind Control's got the surge. GH just needs that blink to come back off cooldown. When they look to gank onto Monet as well as flying when they're right on top of the Ancient Miracle, give the information. It's a double gut, and there goes your Echo Slam over on 2. But the 2 stopping GH from able to get that secondary stop, and they needed it for the OD, dropping down the hammer. Flying went down low, but Sensu into the back lines with the Sonic Wave connecting over on 3. Weehar low, Monet sailing right on top of him, but he cannot complete the TP away to safety. Miracle may be a little bit luckier, however. Yes, he will be. Blink forward from Setsu, Mind Control, having the movement speed to get further away while Kuro on the wrong side of the tracks trying to shield up and get out of there. He doesn't have his borrowed time, so he will get run down by the Omni Knight. It'll take a little bit of time, but he will be run.
It'll take a little bit more time, but eventually Kuro's going to go down here. It's unfortunate for NIGMA because, you know, they run in
up.
and they get that initiation. It looks good for the Echo Slam, but if you look at the heroes that they win on, it's not the heroes that they wanted to touch. They wanted to run into, right? Quap was completely untouched in that fight, so she's able to blink in aggressively, hits a really beautiful Sonic Wave, and then, of course, the Spectre immediately jumping to that back line. As you pointed out early on, right, this is going to be just the straight-up hard counter to Drow Ranger at all times. Spectre can get on top of you, and that's where it's going to get a little weird.
Farming up, but they didn't get rid of that Radiant Observer Ward. I thought Team NIGMA knew it was there. Miracle is going to actually trigger off the Shrine. GH is going to arrive too. A double stun for him with a pitch of follow-up. Super getting brought down quickly by Miracles. The Tempest on the run. They need to try and slow him down. The arrows from Miracle. Look at that movement speed. He just gets to work with it. Mind Control gave him the boost, and then the Hurricane Pike a little bit further forward. That is going to be a double kill for Miracle. He doesn't have the flashiest of heroes.
They have to understand
make it work.
how little damage they have coming out from their 3 to 5 position, right? Especially if they're not using Doom. It's just Purification and Scorched Earth. That's going to be pretty slow damage, and they have to respect the fact that Miracle needs to go for a tankier build being matched up against the Spectre. So he's got, you know, he got lucky in a Vambrace, but he also has that completed Hurricane Pike. He's very tanky.
And if he can get Manta, can get a little bit more than that, but here's your bigger item. 18.5 minutes in for Monet to complete up the Radiance. This changes the fight pretty heavily for Team NIGMA, but there's a little bit of a counter as the mech has now been completed for the Darkseer. So sustain from both sides. Super's had his mech for a while as well as Hand of God, hence RNG sustain is just so damn good.
And one of the really nice things against Radiant's heroes, as always, is you have a wall of replica you can throw down, catch that hero while you get your own Radiance in a team fight. And thanks to all the sustain they have from eventually a Guardian Greaves, from the Darkseer, the Abaddon providing a lot of heals for OD and Drow Ranger, they might actually be able to outlast a Spectre in a team fight, which you normally can't say that.
No. As long as they can catch while the pipe is down, I would believe in that. And it looks like, again, RNG will group up around the Tier 1 town. The Observer Ward from Team NIGMA scouted that one out. It's back behind the Tier 1 tower. And GH is trying to farm up the 4-stops. They really want to play the kite game. Aghanim Scepter now completed over on the OD, so either double save or just tempo controller. Nice scan as well. Pinged perfectly in RNG.
This is why, like, I kind of favor NIGMA, even though they have this hard Drill Ranger counter, is that I know these fights are going to be long. And so OD is just going to have the chance to be able to get so many imprisonment charges, it's going to lead into that big bang from the Sanity's Eclipse. But we'll see. I like the fact that RNG are keeping up the pace. I wanted them to start this game off in like the first 10 minutes, just playing really aggressively and trying to take towers, because you cannot let Drill Ranger OD continue to just AFK farm like they have been doing. You need to punish this a bit.
Yeah. Well, they can keep the push going. Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower, can they force that? Well, looks like Abaddon's just poking his head up in the mid lane. Multiple TPs coming closer towards the north. They would really like to get themselves a core here. Who's the closest? Blink forward. Very fast banishment out from Weeha. Mind Control setting on top. Spectral Horn 2. Here comes the Temper. Gets the Doom over on Weeha. Search from Mind Control will get Wee out. And then he gets it back into a 3-man wall. Mind Control sacrificing himself for the greater good. I think he actually was hoping to... Well, he couldn't deny.
Well, there was a lot of abilities used there. So NIGMA, it's their turn to look for fights.
Yep.
Maybe not right now. If they crash into you while you're holding this high ground, you'll accept the 4 versus 5 for sure. But once Mind Control is back up, I think it's time for an aggressive smoke and seeing if you can actually run into the right RNG heroes this time around.
Really shows how it's that single man disengage the Team NIGMA is able to utilize. Every fight that seems to fail too, Miracle gets more and more space. As there's like a double wave that he just took on the bottom lane farming up. Now at level 16, 21 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they're just like the lack of stuns on the side of RNG means this surge is always going to be effective. I think at some point in time you're probably going to have to get an Abyssal Blade for Monet. But that's, 4th, 5th item. That's a long time before you have to really consider that.
Smoke up, Team NIGMA. We a quick imprison before we all move forward. They see one target, and it's Monet, probably not the target they want, but GH, look at the fast movement. That ES on speed. They'll drop a sentry ward down. That is visible to RNG, so they know something's coming around. So Monet presents himself as a target. Now they get rid of both Obs and Sentry, so Team NIGMA, the smoke, it achieved something, probably not what they were searching for though.
So I think situations like that really showcase why you should always have a Quelling Blade or Tangos as a melee support. You want to be able to eliminate vision quickly. What happens if RNG, off of the vision they had from there, were able to take an advantageous fight? You feel silly, the fact that you were able to sentry but couldn't kill the ward right away. Fortunately for them, nothing comes of it because RNG still have some ultimates on cooldown.
GH, he's really got to leave. Monet goes over the hillside, he'll get a glimpse. But they'll need a little bit more help to close the difference. GH is going to TP out. Setsu, no, your Scepter, so GH will complete the TP.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if, like, what the way that Quap and Omni Knight itemize this, because you could just really use an additional stun somewhere in this pool, but like neither one of these heroes like building it unless you're going to go Yules on Quap.
Yeah, that's really it, right? That's still a good timing, at least for the item for like Radiance on the Spectre. That's still one of the big team fight items, but you need to find more than just presence in a fight. You need Disable, you need Control. You get a Scythe Device on Quap, that's still going to be a 3rd or 4th item for her.
I mean, even then, right, it's like you Scythe this Row Ranger, but she gets surged. That's a fast little piggy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you got no control.
Yeah, this is going to be, they're going to reach a really nice BKB timing on the side of RNG, though. I just still worry about like how efficient their initiation is going to be against double imprisonment saves, against this Abaddon, even like Earthshaker defensively doesn't like Spectre.
Diascan pinged.
Yeah.
It's all the fact they were moving near Roshan, but then it stopped pinging, so now it's Abaddon. He's your front liner. Manta is over on the Drow Ranger, but the imprisonment, it takes the Doombringer out. Now the borrow time from Kuro will go to work. GH still waiting for the right time. Spectral Dagger looking for a hit over on him. Spectral Horn now comes out. September dropping very, very low, but they're trying to back up the back wall. There's the feed, 3-man fissure too. Mind Control surging himself away now. This fight keeps extending out, building up Wii more and more and more. Be very, very careful of the hammer.
Oh, he already dropped it. He dropped it really early on in the team fight. I was super surprised by that. I feel like Weeha did not have to panic so much I didn't think that jump that was made by RNG was the be-all end-all because they canceled it with the imprisonment. I think they had plenty of time to move. Just trust in mind control to counter the Spectre ult and just being able to get a really good vacuum wall that kind of pulls them away from NIGMA.
GH, this could be a huge Echo Slam. They need the instant control over on Setsu. He's into the trees, throws out the clumsy net, follow-up fissure, keeps the control up, but Doombringer cancels his TP. The Observer Ward revealing just the extra support that was coming down.
RNG's doing a really good job not getting caught when NIGMA do try and go for these smoke plays. Like, yes, you do have this big downside of we use one of our big ultimates, they're going to run at us, but at least it's heavily telegraphed, and they're staying one step ahead of NIGMA right now, and as a result, still keeping up their mid-tier 1 tower, still limiting a lot of map control from NIGMA.
Paladin sword in for the Spectre, Orb Destruction for the Drow Ranger.
You won't say no to that. Minus armor and more movement speed slow.
Just the cheap Skadi, right?
Yeah.
Well, free Skadi.
Oh, Greater Fairy Fire is actually not that bad on a Spectre. Who that extra boost of 500 HP means a lot when your dispersion is maxed out.
And Tier 1 tower, RNG. Doom is back up. Spectral Horn is not, however, but Setsu will begin things. Kuro will just have to shield and run away. Pipe is available. GH still waiting. This is the reason why they want first wave pick up GH's Earthshaker. It's that explosive start the Team NIGMA could look for in the fight. That's why I also wasn't looking for the OD hammer either. I was like, yep, Echo Slam's where my eyes are.
I wonder if Weeha feels like he has to go BKB early in this matchup. Probably just the way that RNG is going to peak a lot at this 30-minute timer. But I would love to see him be able to play a little bit more frontline and get those imprisonment charges up going up, right? And well,
nice item. Telescoping for Team NIGMA. That'll work for Drow Ranger and OD. For Roshan, it will belong to Royal Never Give Up. No one from Team NIGMA are in range for this at all. So they've got it, and they're already looking for the fight. Kuro was the one nearby. September staying in close, still has his Doom available, but doesn't want it on Kuro. He wants it on Weeha. Weeha will reveal himself, and he got it over on Weeha too. Setsu staying with him, trying to kill off the doomed up Weeha, who just surged away. Spectral Horn looking for the backline to Miracle. He's smacked in the middle of this. He needs to get some more distance. The back wall fissure creates that distance. The Setsu, where's his attack? No more Sonic Wave to give. Kuro's giving life back to absolutely everyone, including the shield for Miracle, who can get the silence over on Setsu. Hitting so hard, he'll need more help. Dire Observer wants to see absolutely everything. More badges. Weeha, he has the hammer available. Setsu's already gone down. 50 seconds on the sideline, but the fissure block out from GH, actually keeping his team trapped on the wrong side of the rock wall. So Mind Control is trying to do this solo. Well, not really solo. He's also got the Spectre running after Super, and he's just burning him down. That's a bad tailwind to be caught in.
It's so weird, you know, when that's exactly what we're kind of expecting from this lineup. Even though you have this amazing jump, like, okay, Doom managed to get OD Doom, right? That sounds like a really good start for things. So you pop your Spectre ultimate, you've got an Aegis, you should be able to aggressively fight things, but they just can't kill anything because there's so much sustain, there's so much disengage. You would love to say, like, I could even criticize maybe Spectre, okay, maybe you should wait until Surge is actually on cooldown before you pop your ultimate so you can go for the OD directly. But Kuro's just following Weeha around. He's just going to keep on miscoiling him. You're not going to do enough damage to bring down that OD before the Doom expires.
Everything but wall is up. Weeha just keeps the imprisonments going. Bonet throwing out the dagger, coming a little bit further forward underneath Weeha, but then the Conti net sets through the back lines. Another three-man stunner. With the fact setting it up, GH needs some distance. He's got the Echo Stone available, doesn't want to use it while the BKBs are up, however, so Setsu using his own BKB, jumping forward, the Continent Miracle will break free thanks to the Manta Style, and a gust, Weeha working, now he drops the hammer down, but the damage, it feels very, very minimal. ES will buy back, and he's coming as quick as he possibly can. The Darkseer Wall has returned. Everyone from RNG, be careful how close you are together. Here comes your Echo Stone with the silence. GH couldn't get anything else up. Kuro will break him free, so the Fissure can get a follow-up stun. Setsu is so low, Kuro can kill him up with a mid-call. Mind Control backing, trying to create more space. Miracle with a secondary gust, and then the volley firing into one Mono. He goes down because Miracle has a double damage rune. He's got all the damage in the world. You've got Monet back to the world of the living. Aegis Immortal. Maybe Miracle wasn't ready for this one. The shields are up. Mind Control needs to give him some extra speed, and he's got it as well. The silence on Flyway, making sure he can't give anything more. September will kill Kuro in the backlines. Miracle force-starting himself, and then the TP. He's trying to get away. He does, Monet. Can't keep the distance, and Mind Control will now surge himself away to safety.
Very greedy by NIGMA to attack RNG like that, even though they still have the Aegis, and on top of that, you're playing on their side of the map. the fights are entirely different when you're playing around your tier 2, on your high ground areas. It's a lot harder for RNG to be able to penetrate in there. But you actively take the fight into RNG side of the map, and the fight is going to be a lot messier, and as a result, a lot worse for Enigma. They want that very clean line of, you know, they're trying to approach us, and we just keep them back with vacuums and fissures while, you know, we kite around with Surge.
Hey, they're hitting 3-man fissure stuns every time with the back. Hits there every time, but still RNG. World-class team playing around their own Observer and Sentry. Miracle instantly doomed. But then the Surge, the creation of space, comes once again. Mind Control, clumsy netted up. Spectral Horn jumps forward. Now that Fissure blocks him out. Weehaw is coming back into this fight. September's going to stay with him. He'll have to BKB himself up right now. And this is RNG. They have a target. Miracle's already gone down. Monet was able to catch him in the back lines. And Weehaw, Kuro's trying to give him some extra life. Surge, shields, great fidget from GH once again. A 2-man stun, keeping RNG from chasing for more, but Miracle down for a minute. How much damage can RNG do now?
The fact that Weehaw thought he was going to be able to challenge, they use Doom, they use Spectre Ultimate, just like, you can chill out. If he just plays with the Drow Ranger, if Spectre pops your ultimate, then you just imprison the Spectre. And then Drow's going to live. You're going to be able to say, okay, in like 20 seconds, let's all heal, and then go smoke out and fight.
It feels like what NIGMA's day 3 game, right? You've got all these imprisonments, you've got all these saves, Miracle's sitting on the front lines. Like, I feel confident because I have these saves behind me.
Yep.
And when they're not there, he's like, okay, guys, I played this like you were there for me. So you can't really fault him.
You want to frustrate RNG into like overextending with their initiations and such. Hey, this is a great steal, by the way. He had that Wolf Command aura for so long, but now he's got the purge to be able to counter Surge.
Clicking in, Fissure won't be able to connect. September already burning the BKB and then blinks away. No one doing any kind of damage, so never putting it on cooldown.
This is why I called September a core, because 4-position Doom just is a core. The amount of farm that you get from Devour, and also the space that you're going to give a Doom who needs his Blink Dagger to really be efficient as a support, you're going to give him a lot of space for farm.
Great dire scan. They don't have any Observe wards on the bottom, however, which is probably where they want it, because the Queen of Pain is hovering around underneath their own Observers and Sentries, feeling comfortable as the 4-man smoke from Team NIGMA looking for an opportunity. And that opportunity is gone. They can at least get the outpost on the south, and that's going to be all.
So both teams are going to try and get their tier 3 items, finish that up real quickly, and then we're going to start playing around Roshan here, because that is going to determine a whole lot. You just want to control that part of the map as much as possible. I like that NIGMA are setting a step ahead of being able to grab the bottom outpost, because they know that RNG just doesn't want to play on that side of the map ever. So
I like how they've also got their Observer wards to the northern side. So yeah, you can play the south with your numbers, but like if any kind of aggressive vision comes down from RNG waiting for Roshan, it's instantly going to go.
Yeah, they have spent so much of the game with this area.
Hi, Chen. Bye, Chen. He at least gets the Observer ward. That's one upside. That won't be easily replaced, but the army, as well as Super, that's a lot harder to replace. He's there for 45 seconds. And Roshan is still a while away from his potential spawn time.
NIGMA, a really decent power spike when you you just picked up this butterfly in the Drow Ranger. Nobody on RNG really wants to build an MKB.
Let's just start turning this into like a Queen of Pain physical damager. Hey, at least you got the attack speed talent, right?
Yeah, and Setsu, I mean, he kind of wants to commit to the Shivas because he doesn't have the greatest base armor, or he doesn't have the dish.
GH starts with the comms and then follows up with a stun, and Courage, he's getting 4 hits in. Banishment from Weeha. Not a lot of support nearby, secondary banishment as well. Just because you got him, you may as well throw him. Flywind, not tanky enough to escape. Even the butterfly, that's the one you're talking about for the Drow Ranger. A little faster than average.
Meanwhile, the Spectre just got a similar power spike in the heart, which is going to do a lot of damage back when that hammer is dropped. Yes. But, like, I feel like the rest of his team might just fall apart. to NIGMA. They might just be able to ignore Spectres to a decent extent, right? Because a lot of the items you get on a Spectre are not offensive to start with, right? You're going to get this Manta that's kind of defensive. You're going to get this this Heart, again, defensive. You're not going to deal like this overwhelming amount of damage. That's going to be kept up with by an Abaddon who's miscoiling an Aphotic Shuriken.
Got to hit the gust. The TP's already on the way in. And he blinks into the tree line, and then there's your TP out. Setsu, Fissure. Oh, GH was trying to get there in time. You don't really gain anything from this, however. If it was close to the 40-minute mark, then maybe.
I would say that this next fight, because it's outside of like NIGMA's base, it should favor RNG because it's going to be around the Roshan pit. But very likely, I feel like RNG is going to be the one trying to do Roshan. And that obviously leaves opportunities for this Earthshaker Darkseer to come in big. If the game just kind of stalls out, I feel like NIGMA is getting the better for it. You know, so as long as they just kind of guard that hit and make it feel like they're not capable of doing that Roche because they are slow at it.
I just feel like the goal graph is disagreeing with you over the course of this game. Has always been in favor of RNG and is slowly increasing up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is that I feel like despite this big net worth, that the team fights are still going very evenly.
All I remember is Spectre just wrecking late game. Drow Ranger hating to have people on top, but this is the new OD, right?
Yeah.
And that's where...
Dude, that Paladin sword is so good for the Spectre now that she's got that heart. Oh, that's so gross.
They're looking for a find up on top. There's a double wave already pushing, and no one's farming it up. All right, there you go. Setsu will take it. Bottom lane's having its own pressure once against this Abaddon who's having the greatest time of his life. It's like, well, I'm the only one who could probably be down here and relatively safely get out because of the lack of stunts and control.
I think you get one more item on the Spectre and that's when you really start dominating fights. But NIGMA just don't feel comfortable going outside. They really want
going after the Chen again. This happened before. They searched GH over, so he's able to get the initial fissure. Setsu is nearby, and so is a lot of RNG. Miracle can be careful. He's on the front line to get the zoom over on him. Setsu, BKB, and in the back line. Sonic Wave thrown out. Really only connects over a micro. Probably has to get the back in. And the echoes there from GH. The damage is good. Fighting underneath the shrine. Is there enough survivability? Miracle, he's dropping low. So is Kuro. They'll both end up going down. Defensive imprisonment. Actually keeping Miracle alive a little longer. And Kuro got a lot of his life back again, but he can't give any more over to Miracle. Or can he? They just keep imprisoning him up. Now he'll come out to die. And Team NIGMA, they thought they had the advantage. They thought they were ready to fight. But RNG, they had the numbers.
Again, an early hammer like that, it just did no damage to RNG whatsoever. September or Monet just looked like they got tickled by that. Setsu, a high intelligence hero, just isn't taking any damage either.
And RNG pushed their revenge a little further forward. These item timings starting to move up even further.
I love how quickly RNG snapped on that, right? Like, it was a simple Chen out of position, but with them throwing the Drow Ranger so forward on the front lines, well, Surge has been used, Drow Ranger on the front lines, like, yeah, we could definitely jump that.
Still feels like Chen was the bait, right? Like, it's like, oh, I did this before, I am doing this again. What do you think is going to happen here? Now he affords the Gem of True Sight. And into Roshan, RNG go. No Echo Slam available. Team NIGMA still have to repair their lanes before they can do anything. They can scan, but you know what you can't stop.
Do anything about it. Level 25 coming in soon for the Spectre too. That's going to be really big.
So now RNG, we'll see how they go with the Aegis Immortal and see how they go pushing uphill. We've seen Team NIGMA doing this and having some problems, and this is still one hell of a team fight that can come in from Team NIGMA. But there's answers. The BKB's on the way for Omni Knight. Maybe they do just tank through the initiation of Team NIGMA.
Yeah, Weehaw just feels like there's just not enough time for this fight to draw out for him to actually get a good hammer in when, you know, they're BKBing and they're just running over your Drow Ranger with this Spectre. He feels like he needs to be able to get off a couple imprisonments and then drop it as quick as possible. But soon the Butterfly means the Spectre just won't have to worry about even the OD right clicks that are coming in. Cure damage just won't be a threat because, you know, another hero that doesn't want to go MKB. This time on the side of NIGMA.
And they're going to get both the outposts, potentially holding them as well for the 40-minute mark. And this is very probable.
There's still a whole minute to go until the experience comes out. So I appreciate you wasting 6 more seconds of Monet's time, I guess. But NIGMA, they don't really have anything to do. They're just going to have to wait for the high ground push, and then we're going to see Drone Ranger, Darkseer, OD. That is very terrifying high ground. We've seen so many Drone Rangers come back in high ground defenses.
Yeah.
But I just don't think RNG is going to give you that opportunity. I think they're just going to control the map until they have a gigantic lead. I think they're just going to build up and build up and build up.
This is nice at least, like having a Lincoln Sphere, some layer of protection for Weeha. So it's not a simple jump in. But Tomb's also rapidly approaching a refresher orb, so
yeah.
Who really wins out in this?
Weeha. I mean, he hasn't really progressed much in item. He's only has his Lincolns that he's picked up recently, so.
Oh, top lane. Trying to run away, mind control. Getting a little cute, begins his TP. Hey, does anyone have a stun here?
Well, can't stop you from TPing out, but you can stop them from farming in your face.
4 Mjolnir, you're completed. More 4-staffs, more kiting.
You're gonna need some real sick wall of replica vacuum.
Getting some
multiple stuns.
Getting some sick PCs to handle the FPS drop. Like, you feel it when the ulti comes in. Flicker for the Queen of Pain.
That's always a weird one.
Yeah, it's a 50-50, right? Yeah, which way do I go?
I just don't feel good about Flicker almost ever. Unless I have like a puck on my team or something.
Well, Spectre's coming up, but the split shot slowing things down. And mind control, 4-stopping Monet. Handing back to the tier 4 towers. The orb decided to build up. It's a great Darkseer wall too. Monet is so damn low. They're wondering if they want to pop him. He's still got the cheese available. Set to Miracle, getting a lot of really good damage into him as well.
That was a cute play.
It really was.
Simply 4-staff him in, then follow up with a vacuum. Sadly, they didn't get the wall on the Spectre, so they didn't get that Spectre illusion. That's really important every fight. Fortunately, nothing's really going to come of this situation. I think RNG just finish up their tier 4 items. There's no reason not to.
Invisibility.
I just reset and start again. They'll be a lot more wary of it next time.
Timeless Relic on a Doom. Just prolong the Doom duration another like 3 or 4 seconds. Why not? Later on, it becomes even more disgusting if you get Aghanim Scepter plus level 25 on Doom, which is honestly not that far out of the realm of possibility, because again, I think RNG is just going to build up more and more of a net worth lead by controlling the map, but looks like they're going to poke at that tier 3. Once
We're going again, yeah.
No wall, so you might as well.
Yeah, but you still have the clearance through split. Miracle doesn't want to use it yet, just 2 range creeps. He's going to be careful about any kind of jump. Weeha will reveal himself to begin. They pipe the wave. And here comes your volley forward. Monet once again finding himself very deep. The fidget block is good for September. Jumps into the back line. He triggered the Lincoln Sphere of Weeha. He didn't get the Doom up on the target he wanted. Now he's trapped in there. The BKB wearing off. Miracle trying to focus him down. The Guardian Angel giving some level of protection. It says 2 BKBs as well. The Darkseer wall. They got the copy of Monet. That's the one they wanted. Imprisonments are out as well. Come back in. Get rid of the Spectre illusions. Another fidget control from GH. He's still got the Echo Slam available, but they want to fight inside their base.
I like
but
this.
RNG will not allow it.
I like this a lot. RNG, just, you know, you got your tier 3, you got a little progression in the game. Just back up. Just take those shrines. There's no need to force these things.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Oh, but NIGMA, they don't want to let them take this shrine.
They're coming.
I'm very surprised they're going to try
There's no Doom. There's no GA. They probably feel pretty good if they can get the initiation target right. But who is the target? Chen? He ain't the target. He's a sacrifice. Spectral Horn. Everyone's gonna be there. Is there extra help? Super gets both the mech as well as the Hand of God off. And then Setsu. That's a big sting. Everybody is bleeding right now. And NIGMA is Flyman walked in. Monet as well. Team NIGMA, they have to defensively imprison up at the moment. Where is your follow-up? Where is GH's attack? Setsu gets the double kills. They both came out of the imprisonment. 3 heroes down for Team NIGMA.
I think NIGMA just felt like they weren't going to be able to get anything else, but that Chen survived so long, and they grouped up so much. That was like a 4-man Shadow Strike. If they had actually had level 25 on the Quap, which I believe he now does, then that would have been an AoE 4-man disable as well. I think NIGMA's just feeling a bit desperate, and they just feel like they're going to lose this game eventually in this war of attrition that RNG is taking to them. They wanted to be able to sneak in a team fight somehow.
It definitely feels like it's the first time that Miracle can't just out-carry the game by himself. This Drow Ranger can't do enough. She's too reliant on her team getting that initiation. The Darkseer and ES must combo hard. And now the heroes all grouping up on the bottom. Monet's like, all right, dagger me all you want. September jumping in once again. There's your request there from GH, working with mind control, but still the damage. What is that? It's nothing, really.
Yeah, they don't have anything because Miracle is forced back a little bit, and the OD's still dead.
Yeah, can't build up. GH, Clumsy netting up over on Flywin. The tier 3 tower, okay, Flywin's going to BKB. Miracle force-staffing himself in. The Fitch can't get the block, and now the chase is impossible. Miracle can't even get around the corner. They're surging him, but Flywin will just TP. It's a little too slow to get the catch, and all of RNG will escape.
Man, I really thought this OD was going to be able to accomplish more in this game. And I think there's little things that maybe WeHot didn't do right. An OD player would probably tell me a little bit more, but I just really expected to see this hero be able to, through some of these engagements, get imprisonment after imprisonment, build up a lot of damage.
It's just the chaos of the fight, right? Like it's like they can never get the right positioning. TP's all out to safety. I think I saw the Minotaur Horn also arrived for Team NIGMA. That was in OD's hands. And you finished a BKB on the Drow Ranger.
Refresher for September, and he's not going to make the same mistake he made last time. Next time around, he'll Purge and then Doom. And when it comes to these high ground pushes, like now it won't even matter so much if he gets it on the OD. That's going to be his target every time. If he gets it on the OD and he gets searched away or whatever, you don't kill him. That whatever. It just means you get a chance to be able to finish off the buildings. NIGMA at some point in time are going to have to stand and fight.
At some point. But RNG will be very, very, well, methodical about the next attack. It's like, all right, let's wait for maybe, next Roshan, get control of the map. We now have both the outposts under their control too. And it really does feel like it's on Team NIGMA to make something happen, but do you want to do that while Drow's buyback's on cooldown for 5.5 minutes? If maybe it's just high ground defense is all you can do.
I think so. I think that's all you can hope for at this point.
You can't even get a kill. Like, Skadi gonna be completed on the Queen of Pain. That's so damn tanky. And Chen, like we saw it. 5 heroes tried to kill Super, tried to kill a Chen, and they couldn't achieve it.
That was pretty gross. We're gonna have like a 4,500 HP Spectre. Again, having that butterfly still has the cheese to be able to work off of as well. Everyone has a lot of mana as well. That's why Scotties are really good against this OD, right? Because introduction to both mana and HP.
Hello, Aghanim Spectre.
I can't hate that at all.
Scanning.
You said Aghanim Spectre?
Yeah.
I can't hate that. Because this just means he has another opportunity to be able to jump onto the OD or Drow Ranger when he wants to. He pops his ultimate, they surge, reset, or whatever, maybe a vacuum, then he pops his individual axe, jump.
Yep. I like this from ES. He's got Ninja Gear now available, so maybe there is a better chance for initiation. Shadow Blade for the Drow Ranger too. So Team NIGMA try and play the elusive game.
Yeah,
we all be ninjas now.
Miracle's going to try and build into a Silver Edge, so hoping that they're going to be able to break that Spectre. Make it a little bit easier for you to drop some damage in and not just get destroyed by the dispersion. But unfortunately for him, it's still a pretty far distance away. Another 2k gold needed. That is quite the cliff when RNG have 90% of the map control, then are just building more and more of a net worth lead. Soon they're going to have Refresher, a Scythe looks like for a Flywin, and more mana.
And they're just all these neutral items just being left across the ground. It's like, I don't have space for this. You have space for this. There's your Refresher orb you're talking about.
What's cool about this is Omni has a really good combo breaker going on because he's got Heaven's Halberd. He Heavenly Graces himself as well. They get jumped by some sort of vacuum echo slam. If he has the Scythe, like that stun is not going to last very long. It's going to last like 3/4 of a second or maybe a second full, and he's just going to be able to Scythe the Earthshaker before he gets off the rest of the combination.
There's a new timeless relic, so balance in all things gets to go to both sides. GH is still waiting for someone to come down here and defend the bottom lane. Mind Control and GH going to work together. But RNG have other things in mind. Dro can hold the top lane back, and just using Manta can also push back the mid.
And the Timeless Relic will be given over to GH, so he has an answer to status resistance with the increase to bet.
Coming to bottom lane, but it's Monet. You ain't getting that. And you are getting Roshan. The army has begun the attack. Poor Centaur in the middle.
Let's see if it's a Refresher or Aghanims.
Keep your eyes closed.
Who are you going to give it to?
Can you give it to... Well, yeah, you want to give it to Super? Setsu was, I think it was like Queen of Pain. Yes, an Aghanim Scepter, and it's going to be...
Omni?
Setsu's actually holding on to 2 of the cheese charges.
So in this case, like now the Queen of Pain and Spectre can jump in really aggressively and know that Omni Knight has always got their back. Omni Knight can also play a little bit separated from the rest of the team as well to make sure he doesn't get caught in the vacuum.
Well, we're going to have an actually outpost split it at 50 minutes. You said this is going to be a long game, Cap. You ain't kidding. We're at the 50-minute mark. The Tier 2 tower has finally been brought down. All that momentum that GH and Mind Control have been working on has reaped some benefit, as a Silver Edge is also completed. But so is another sign. So what, there's 2 sights in the hands of RNG, and you got a Silver Edge for the Dro Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, RNG, their win percentage is just going up bit by bit, or percentage by percentage for every, like, 5,000 net worth lead they get over NIGMA. And there's probably a little bit of...
Someone is in the house. What does he want? To purge.
You haven't been yourself.
I know.
The last man standing, they will bring down the Spectre, and this is a huge fight for Team NIGMA. The game can't handle it, I can't handle it. Woo!
Alright, dude's gonna wear off. Let's just make sure that Monet doesn't actually kill anybody from dispersion. GH, make sure to run away. Alright, everyone's good. No supports, foolishly die. What a beautiful combination, man. They had to wait and endure RNG just being able to own the map, farm it their lead, get more and more items.
Again, please.
The most beautiful vacuum.
Glorious. Vac, hit, and watch the FPS tank like RNG's HP bars. They are ready to push down. It was RNG who were meant to have the advantage. They're the ones who took the Roshan. Ready to push in, but there was no time to react. If they can force back the buyback on Spectre, then this will also be a huge advantage for Team NIGMA.
It will, but it's also the most dangerous point of the game, right? Because now you are like super far forward against a team that has a lot of catch. It's usually stronger than you in team fights, especially if you don't have that vacuum Echo Slam, you don't have Wall of Replica, and you don't have 8 players in the game.
That's, yep, see, the servers can't handle it either. Dota, please.
Jesus, that was like what, a 15k gold lead swing from that team fight?
This is what you were talking about with like where at some point does the gold matter if you can just hit that huge fight? Bring back my comeback mechanic, bring back the ability to push the other direction. They'll still, like, even if they claim the mid lane of Rax, it's still only going to balance the lane of Raxes that have been taken.
And it helped that there was like 2 parts to that fight.
Yeah,
right? NIGMA was able to hold off that first offensive with the Doom coming in. He opted to Doom up the Darkseer for once because he was like, I'm tired of this surge.
And his second Doom failed as well. He procced the Lincoln Sphere again.
And we're able to get a lot of imprisonments going in that situation. They got at least 2, I think, onto Weehaw before he dropped that hammer, maybe more.
We're back in the fight. Setsu jumping in. He's got a full Bloodthorn competed for this engagement. They're letting Kura front line. He's got a fresh Aghanim. They take the melee racks. And now it's just a quick AoE surge retreat away from RNG. But are they fully retreating? Miracle's still
they wanna
here.
Try and Silver Edge break him. If they could somehow kill Monet, that'd be the end of the game, maybe.
Now they find Flywind. He's going to
Oh,
beat
no.
the Hex down pretty quickly. A 4-star up. Now 4 heroes. Monet as well as Flywind trying to work. The GA's been burnt up. They're trying to get the numbers to the front lines. And as Kuro is in trouble, the guy's pushing him back. Begins his TP. Hey, look, boys, no stuns. Oh, yeah, there is. September will arrive just in the nick of time. And Kuro has to keep the run going. The Fidget keeping the rest of RNG under control. As Team NIGMA in full retreat. They got the buyback. Spectral Haunt being actually committed. He's going after mind control. Throwing out the nullifier.
Bit ambitious just because they should be sticking together and just AoE surging each other all the way across the map. Pretty good disengage from NIGMA. You're really happy. You got a melee racks, you forced a buyback out of the Spectre in a game that looked near unwinnable.
You actually got 2. You got the Queen and the Spectre who bought back. That's costly. Even more costly, they can't push. For 6.5 minutes, because if the same thing happens again, this game is over. RNG is out and NIGMA is going to the major.
Do you want another 70-minute game?
Sure.
Toby, because this is how you get another 70-minute game where the winning team uses their buybacks and goes, shit, now we gotta sit here and farm until our buybacks are back up.
It took us until the grand final of the major to get it, but we may have it in game 2 and game 4. Miracle's back into his farm. Well, he's actually going for a Lincoln Sphere of his own. Any kind of problems they can cause for that Doombringer to get his initiation off, they'll love it. And a refresher off for GH. 1 Echo is not enough. There's your jump forward banishment. Weeha. No, it's Mind Control who actually got hit. So they 4-star him up. GH will do the honors. Then they Lincoln Sphere protect him. That's very liberal use of the Doom, but you can see how they prioritize now Mind Control over Weeha.
I mean, it's like the vacuum is a big problem for them, but it's also that AoE surge and just like the reset tool. If you doom anybody else, then you know he's just going to AoE surge everybody, and they're all going to get back to their high ground.
And you're not going to get both off. Like if you got double Lincoln Spheres on the field, now you could actually from Team NIGMA, you can put someone on the front lines.
Yeah, I think what September wants is lead off on the first doom onto mind control, and then the second doom comes onto that OD. If
look
possible.
at them come. They know like, okay, well Doom should be down. Hey Chen, maybe you want to put a couple of those items into your inventory like the telescope. Oh, that's the reason why the courier is coming out to grab him. But we're at 55 minutes in. Both outposts still belong to RNG, but that's not what Team NIGMA care about. They want to have themselves a fight. But the smoke's going to wear off a little too soon. They'll come underneath the Radiant Observer Ward if they're not careful. In fact, they will no matter what, because it's also on the hillside.
It's funny how they smoke together with these AoE surges. When they surge each other up, right? There's no obvious hero that wants to frontline for them in a smoke game, right? Because yeah, maybe the Darkseer, but are you really running into RNG just happen to be 5-manning clumped up and you're gonna hit him with the vacuum? No. So do you want a Baden? Well, he can frontline, yes, but he doesn't offer a disable. So now it means like I guess OD kind of has to frontline to imprison somebody.
A Baden is information. It's like the Gravitron. Just drag everyone into one point. Hey guys, I am a target. You may be able to kill me.
Okay, level 25 soon. 4 OD plus sight. Those are really big upgrades.
Miracle. Are they coming to shop as well? The Dire Observer Ward. It has information. It sees the Doombringer walking down the hill, but they don't know where the rest of everybody else is. The Miracle is not stopping him. He's running forward. Where's the detection? Where's the information? Daggers are being thrown out. They drop the sentry wards. They know it. And Weeha, they leave him on the front lines, and 25 is up. They gave him the mid lane.
Weeha showing in the mid lane. It's a way to disguise the smoke rotation, but also becomes a little too obvious as he moves farther and farther forward. RNG know they're going to be smoked around that area. They just weren't exactly sure where.
This is nice objective, at least for Team NIGMA. Take out the shrine. Roshan, next point of contest. Remove the outpost from the north. No way to push in.
Yeah.
Things. Map control. Hour mark. I can talk, it's William Shatner does.
Okay, Monet is trying to get a mini Doom of his own. Sure, they've got 2 Dooms on their side, but he's going to get that Bloodthorn after the Nullifier that he already has.
They're going to take the tier 2 tower on top lane as well. That was that last out of tower, and like actually a nice TP point for RNG to try and defend, but Miracle's damage output is ridiculous, and he needs to bring the Lincoln Sphere out. I'm wondering if he has buyback, and also, what do you swap out? You just take out the treads, right, at that point? Yes, just hoping for Roshan, but he's got a minute. She's got a minute to wait.
I mean, you've got the movement speed. from this butterfly. You've got the AoE surge. Yeah, you can definitely drop that treads for sure. It's just getting to a point where a lot of these heroes are running out of item slots.
Hey, wasn't that something like as a change to the backpack where you could start to upgrade your backpack so some of these slots are able to work? Or like, I remember reading something like you can use an item at like 50%. Hey, you've still got couriers. Couriers
That's true.
You can
we did not see any courier usage for that 70-minute game, at least not with real good items.
Wait, can you do it like you just keep the Lincoln Sphere on the courier and like just put that onto somebody?
Yeah,
That'll free up a slot.
We were talking about Mass Dagon 5s, but that is actually a pretty cool idea.
The level of protections. Oh, Kuro will lose his courier. They jump forward. Monet, Kuro will reveal himself. Setsu as well, but they're back underneath that Radiant Observer ward. Still not dewarded. That's why Setsu feels the confidence to jump forward, and Team NIGMA, they don't want anything to do with this. Maybe they'll take the bottom outpost. That's something they can take. They're in the neighborhood anyway, and you see like the ping's coming. Hang on, can you grab that top one? We need a trade-off for the 60-minute mark. The second game of this to break an hour, and hello, Roshan.
All right, so another Aghanim Scepter and a Refresher Shard. Aghanim Scepter is next on the list.
Well, Setsu's starting it. There is no Dire Scan available.
Doom's next on the list. Doom is almost level 25. That is 50% HP damage.
Sees a lot. GH waiting for his time. There's no way he can know how close it is. If he just goes for the blind one, he might be able to hit it. The Shiva's got to keep the distance up, however. Monet has the Aegis Immortal. Kuro caught in the front. Anyone going to search? Hey!
I love that play by September.
Guys, there's things in the... Okay, yeah, September's now going to get the Aghanim Scepter upgrade done.
Pop your BKB, pop your Shivas to try and like stop any of these Blink Daggers. Just put yourself on the front lines. Who cares if you use your BKB?
That's a 5-second cooldown already.
Yeah, like you're not going to go high ground immediately anyway. Just make sure they can't get inside that Roshan. Alright, so we're going to get... people are going to start buying Aghanim Scepters and Moon Shards.
Hey, the Dro Aghanims is absolutely boss if she can get it. Because that way you're able to clean up a lot of the Spectral Haunts when they jump in. Okay, maybe not that fast, but at least the Chen army won't be able to survive. Not that I think Chen has actually had an army for, like a proper army survive the first 2 minutes of a fight for a while.
It'll definitely be a lot more boss. It's going to be really good when they're vacuum grouped up.
Yeah.
That Splinter Shot is just going to destroy. It feels really good when you're like high ground defending. But any fight outside the base, it's just naturally too messy, and it's such a weird position, right? Like, NIGMA had this amazing way to be able to defend high ground, but like outside of that high ground, fights just become so much more three-dimensional, you know? There's not just this, they're on this side, we're on this side.
He has the Axe queued up on the draw, and RNG. They felt confident before, they want to push in. I do love the fact one of the refresher shard is in. He'll have to switch it out at some point, so he can get. It's in the backpack of Omni Knight, so he can't get the double GAs. Not that I think that's going to help him against the ODs. Here's already a start. Silver Edge breaking the Spectre. Forced up #1. They drag him up nice and far. And he still wants to close. This is another break again. He'll have to go for a Fissure GH. Holding Monet in position. Now September. He actually triggers Weeha with the clumsy net, but he doesn't get the Doom off. Now Miracle letting him fly out. September is able to get the Doom done. But a 4-star for Wayne. The Rack's being chipped away. September now going to go for the second one. Setsu. Sonic Wave really only clips onto Miracle. Mind Control. Now the back. At the wall. At the Echo Slam. #1. Is there #2? He has the BKB. Gets the Fissure out. Keeping the control over on Monet. September feeding into the melee. Rags Miracle trying to push him back out. They'll take the second lane of Rags. But how high is the cost? Can Team NIGMA get any extra kills at the moment? Monet, he's moving himself further back. The hammer is still available. Monet, he is just being wrecked apart. But the purification Flywind, no, they have the damage. Just enough. Miracle wants to go for more, ready to slap him. Back him up in the back lines. Attacking GA for defense. Miracle caught the wrong side of the Fissure. Nullifier, someone got away out of him. Miracle just BKBing. Trying to TP up. Now he can be searched back over towards the wall. September jumps in once again, gets Doom over on Miracle. But Weeha still fighting. He's still got so much in. He's still got the hammer. He's ready to drop it. The banishment is up. They call Flywind with the Fissure. He'll BKB. Monet, the Fissure controller's there from GA. Doom is already buying back Miracle. Still with the Doom on him. He still wants to continue to fight.
They're just leaving him behind.
The stun, the control, Monet. They were playing Left 4 Dead now, but it ain't never the third version. He is down for the count. Fightback is available. And RNG, for this sacrifice, they did claim an entire lane of racks, and it only really cost him the buyback on the Doom for now.
That is so absurd that the correct correct play might have been just leave a full HP Spectre behind. Because we had built up so many charges.
39.
I mean, this man was refusing. Okay, one thing they really have to make sure, don't give him another imprisonment or an orb hit. Make sure that that actually ticks out. Super important. But like he had built up so much, the hammer drop was so threatening. They just kind of needed to back. But now NIGMA is going to be able to force the buyback once again. They have a win condition.
GH is ready to go, but he doesn't have the Echo Slam up. Nice A on disc. Toomey knows he needs this. Miracle trying to clean through the waves. They're beating the tier 4 towers. They already forced the buyback out, but no Doom available, no Spectral Horn. Team NIGMA, they want to try and end this right now, going for the GG push. A little bit of split push back on top, but who cares? No more heroes left there anymore. Miracle, look at what's Monek. There's a quick pushback. What a gun. Mind control back. Echo Slam. GH, the BKB came up. Sent to a fight. Will be protected by Monek. It'll be a time back. He's already dropped down. Monek is down. Needs to keep attacking it wherever the BKBs have worn off. NIGMA, they're backing up Miracle, still able to fight the back lines. Defensive imprisonment, trying to buy more time. Now Weeha, back up, watch the all 10. Flywind's gonna go down. Team NIGMA, they are doing it. They're pushing forward, sentiment to blink defensively. The agent is open. They're gonna take it to the back line. GH, 3 men setting them up. Fortification. It's find the time for RNG. As he comes Sensu, they're moving back towards the wall. Want to reset. The guns are back. Everyone come back in again. They're just gonna keep hitting September, but the agent is the primary objective. Sensu trying to do the work. The imprisonment keeps out of the fight. GH trying to kill off the agent. Sensu has he got much more? We hired the double kill. But GH is doing the work on the back line. The Victor keeps him out. Miracle, he's hitting heroes. He's not hitting the ancient. Now he can move his attention over towards Sensu. Weeha still alive. He'll bring him down. Blindwind, he's the next target. But all the split they give is it's over. NIGMA, they actually fight back. 64 minutes. They push back after what was an infinite hold. A 40k advantage for RNG and Team NIGMA. It feels like not once but twice during this series have achieved the impossible through the lower bracket run, through a 5 a.m. finish last night, and now a 2 a.m. finish in Game 4. They get to claim the minor and the last slot at the major.
You want to talk about the mental game of Dota 2, right? 2-time TI champs, OG, masters of it. But there was a reason that NIGMA made it all the way to this last TI finals through the lower bracket, man. This team, they're mental iron giants. They can put up with anything.
They really can. They just had to hit the stride. That's what they were looking for. Huge props to RNG. They have been absolutely superb throughout this tournament, but they've faltered at the last post. They've faltered at the grand final. Their players are absolutely amazing. It's so hard in the China region. I'm not surprised that a team of this quality still reached the grand final. The Team NIGMA, these guys, they are looking to make a mark on the Dota scene. Both with their new brand, both with their team play. And now, as the champions of the minor.
Wow, what a game, guys. Congratulations, first of all. Make some noise for your champions of the Bukovel Minor! You may now lift the trophy.
Give it up for your WEPLAY Bukovel Minor Champions, Team NIGMA.
On top of that, there has been an MVP vote during the series and the tournament. I got one for support, I got one for core, and sorry guys, but it so happens that the MVPs are on my side. Kuro, support MVP, Miracle, core MVP. Bukovel, make some noise! Team NIGMA! All right, Rich, back to you.
A big congratulations to NIGMA. And just to actually think about the way that they were able to do this,